From the studios that brought you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Here's Bob Fescoe and Dusty Likens.
All right, Monday morning, brand new week. I would say, I don't know. We are now into the swing of football. Again, obviously, you might have saw it on social media this weekend. We talked about it on Friday. Josh Vernier sat down with John Sherman, and they had a conversation about what the future looks like, what this year was, and how to get back to what 2024 was. We'll play that at 7:20 this morning as our very own Royals insider Josh Vernier sat down with the Royals majority owner John Sherman as they talk shop about baseball. So you'll want to be locked in at 7:20 as we'll have Vern and Sherm. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it feels kind of nice. Vern and Sherm. John Sherman, Josh Vernier, one-on-one, 7:20 as we anticipate what Vern has to ask him as they sat down together. So we'll get into that, get into some stuff about the Chiefs this year. But, man, football's here, right? There's
29 days.
What I tell you, 4 preseason games on Thursday. So even if you don't, the Hall of Fame game, whatever, this is kind of like now where, like, depending on how you feel, you can kind of, like, limp in. You're like, oh, there's 4 games on Thursday. There's 3 games on Friday. There's 7 games on Saturday. So, yeah, I mean, I was out this weekend at the store on Sunday, Target and all that. School's getting close.
Yep, school starts this week.
Tax-free weekend. Some people start this week, some people starting in a couple weeks, but football's back. That's all I know.
Yeah, it is. It's back, and we're kind of ready to go, too. I think everybody's excited about the football season based on the way it's gone with the baseball side of things. I think people have been ready for football for quite some time now, and I was just kind of thinking about it yesterday. I was watching Hard Knocks. I don't know if you guys have seen Hard Knocks yet. But
Seattle, right?
Seattle is the team this year, and they talked about Ken Walker in that a little bit and how devastating a loss it is for Seattle, and to hear their coach kind of say it's a hard loss for us. Like, we did not want to lose Ken Walker, but, you pay that Super Bowl tax, and there he goes, and he gets to have that opportunity with the Chiefs. And, listening to kind of Patrick talk about Ken Walker over the weekend, and I'm getting excited now for what this offense can be, because I think it can be a really good, fun show for a lot of us, right? Like, we haven't had this offense in a while now. We haven't had that running back really since before the Super Bowls happened here in Kansas City. And so now we get an opportunity to see an offense with a running back that's going to be, I think, dynamic, and then have the wide receivers, get better. You're getting paid big bucks. You can get better as a wide receiver as well. So hopefully it's where we need it to be, and I'm getting excited about it. Here in Seattle, say it was a devastating loss, though, was kind of good to hear about Ken Walker. So I'm getting excited about this thing.
Would have been awesome. They're like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, it's fine.
Dime a dozen. Find those guys anywhere you want. Remember they used to tell you that? Like, yeah, running backs, like 5th or 6th round.
Yeah.
Last 3 years, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd round. Now running backs getting paid. Boy, did that change quickly.
And it's going to go back to the other two, because people are going to get tired of paying running backs. It's all cyclical, in the NFL and in sports in general and in life. I mean, everything what goes around comes around is the saying that they had. And now we're kind of seeing that resurgence of the running backs, because they're looking at that and they're going, that's cheaper than paying wide receivers at this point in time. So let's get back to a ground game in the NFL, because wide receivers are making $25 million a year.
When it comes to preseason game number 1, Saturday at Arrowhead, that's what we get to call it again, right? I remember I saw your guys' little topic about that whenever they went back to that. So Arrowhead Stadium on Saturday, the Chiefs will host the Rams. Don't expect anybody for the Rams to really travel. Maybe they do. I can't imagine going from L.A. to Kansas City, week 1 preseason game. Probably going to see Ty Simpson versus Justin Fields. I don't think we're going to see Patrick Mahomes
Are we
play.
even going to see Justin Fields play in this game, or is it going to be a Nussmeier special, for the Chiefs on Friday afternoon or Saturday, whenever they play this game, right? Could be Nussmeier.
I hope we see Fields.
I can't imagine why we wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he
has not earned anything like that.
I haven't heard any injury or anything like that. I don't think he's got that veteran I know he's a veteran, obviously, like in the league, but I feel like he's a guy that maybe they want to see what he can do with a situation in his hands, or, maybe what can Justin Fields do with the first 15 if they go out there. I don't know. This is nerd stuff when it comes to preseason football. I'm actually more excited to see the defense in preseason because I think those guys are going to play, like your Peter Woods, your Mansour Delane, who's not going to play, but other guys like maybe Noel Williams plays. You can see him as like a scatter guy out on the field. Maybe see what Gelati looks like. See what
see if he
Lott
plays.
looks like. Yeah, all these guys.
Doubt he plays.
I wouldn't play anybody that's coming close to an injury situation
I doubt
at this
Gelati
point in time
plays,
now.
Yeah. But, you won't see like Jones and Karlaftis, but I think you will see a lot of Peter Woods. And I think that's really kind of where I'm at. What does DeMercado's step look like? What is, what's Smith look like? We just forgot about him over the last 6 months.
Smith?
Yeah.
Yep.
We just went Walker and DeMercado. It's like, hey, we got a guy they drafted last year that a lot of people had high hopes for. But, yeah, I would not get excited to see the band out there. Like, I don't think 87 going to play. I don't think, 4. I don't think 1's going to play, but hey, Cyrus Allen's going to play. Those are I think that's what preseason is.
God, yes.
You want to see those guys actually, get some hard reps instead of just seeing them go up against their teammates where, tempers flare if you're FAU. But, if I'll be honest with you guys, I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Simmons out there for a little bit.
No, I think Josh will probably play in this game.
I don't need to see the full unit. I know there's some people that are like, hey, preseason, Madden, turn injuries off, fast forward 4 weeks, and then start week 1. I know there's only 3, but that was the thing you did back in the day because so many people would get hurt for a long period of time. And we've already seen a preseason / training camp that struck fear in a ton of people across the league with all these injuries that keep piling up.
Yeah, and that's why I look at these preseason games. I'm just like, man, I don't care. I just don't. Don't get hurt. Don't utilize guys that you need. Don't utilize guys that you're counting on to be big-time players this season because you can't afford these injuries in the preseason. There's nothing worse than an early season, preseason, pre-camp type of injury, that these guys are going to be suffering. And so I would just look at it and say, you know what? If we get a couple of guys some playing time, let some of these younger guys play, let them get the minutes that they need, let them get the opportunity to put some stuff on tape, and let them have an opportunity to potentially get a job somewhere else if they're not going to make it here in Kansas City. And that's kind of the way you look at it, just like spring training baseball. You just watch it for what it is and kind of enjoy it that it's back and it's there, but there's not a lot you can really gauge about what the team is going to be about if you watch preseason football. I think it's sometimes we watch it just because we love the fix for football, and that's great. We get that fix for football, but I don't really think you take much away from what they do in the preseason into the regular season.
No, it's about learning, but I do think there's more to learn about this Chiefs team than there's been in the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many seasons you want to go. There's more to learn. There's new coaches. This is a new offense, or at least we hope that it is. So I hope that preseason week 3 against the Seahawks on August 28th, I hope that is the full gang. I hope that is the full band for at least a drive like we usually get.
Sure.
Yeah, they'll play the first half, and they play not even the first quarter. But let's get them out there for 5 plays. Like, we need to at least see
later in the
this.
preseason.
Yes.
Preseason game 1, though. I mean, we saw what went on there for the Hall of Fame game, guys. I mean, there's people out there. That guy who scored that game-winning touchdown, he's going to be selling insurance here next week. Like, things like that, right? You don't know who these people are, right? But let them play. Let those guys get out there and have that action. So that's really what you're going to see, and you're going to take away from it. We'll all walk away with somebody that stood out and somebody that kind of excited you a little bit. But I think now it's that point. It's starting to feel like the dog days, of training camp. Like, I'm ready. Me personally,
That's
I'm
like
just
the
ready
worst
for
month
this.
of sports.
The regular season. I'm ready for. Yeah, August does suck.
August sucks.
It really does.
August is great.
Yeah,
Hey, my birthday's this month too. It sucks.
but it does.
For
It
sports.
sucks sports wise. Like, people always talk about, the dog days of summer. No, August blows, man. Especially when you don't have
terrible.
a baseball team. Like you're looking around. You're going, what do we have right now? Preseason football, some college games at the end of the month. But I mean, there is literally nothing going on in the sports world right now. So people are jonesing, for that preseason football, which I'm sure surprised we didn't have a game last night.
Got the FedEx Cup chase. That's going on right now. That's sports. At least that. I mean, yeah, football, baseball, not a whole lot going on, and I know golf doesn't sell. So, but yeah, I think that.
Yeah, no basketball talk. That's done.
Yeah.
Right? Free agency's done. There's nothing. LeBron's decided. Like, it's all kind of just, all right, let's get this over with. The takes, we've done all our
the other
takes.
thing,
Right, we've done all the
It's like-
preseason takes, right?
Yeah.
But that's the other thing too. Is like it's good time for us to relax and gear up. I mean, we get 1 out of 12, and it's August. Like, that's your month to regroup, reassess what you want to do, because once September 1's here, September, October, November, December, January, February, right? March is crazy college basketball month.
March is a crazy month with the NFL getting started too. You know, like March is so busy.
Then you have, the draft in April.
Yeah.
June is like really like, where's your baseball team? Is it serious conversation? Is it nothing? And then July, you're like, okay, we're almost right back to where we were.
Yeah,
that's why
there again.
It's okay to have August, I think. I mean, you can watch dodgeball on the Ocho. Saturday was August 8th, so they paid respect to that. But no, I don't know, man. I'm with you. But from Poly Market Football, if you missed it yesterday or earlier this morning, Aaron Donald has an announcement coming this week. So he's going to play for the Rams, as we knew that was happening.
Yep.
And then if you didn't see this from this weekend, as this went crazy, because we saw that there was an article that Josh Allen was the all-decade quarterback, and Mahomes has 17 playoff wins. That's more than Burrow, Lamar, and Josh Allen combined. So that's cool. But yet, here, and that's the other thing about August. You get clickbait. You get these weird conversations start. Oh, Josh Allen's the all-decade quarterback. Really? How many playoff wins does he have? 8. How many does Patrick Mahomes have? 17.
Second all time.
All time in NFL history, all time.
9 years.
It's insane. Like that column hit Friday, and I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with it this week. And that guy's just an idiot. You're dumb, and you're looking for. I don't know, maybe the guy doesn't have many friends and he's just looking for some connection on the internet to interact with people. But, I mean, how you would go out there and pick Josh Allen as the quarterback of the decade, I mean, I really do. I question whether or not that guy should be employed by a place like ESPN if you're making a decision like that. No, I'm being serious. You can't make a case that Josh Allen is a better quarterback over the last decade than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you just can't, no matter how you want to do it.
Josh Allen is anyone.
Anyone. That's exactly right.
In all reality, it has nothing to do with Allen.
No.
I know it has his name as the guy, but it doesn't matter who you chose in the last 10 years, from 2016 to 2026.
You're not taking anybody else. I mean, the guy just wins championships, goes to AFC championship games, resurrected a franchise that was, a dead stick for a long time till Andy Reid got into town. Come on now. I mean, that's dumb. That's just looking for a way to insert yourself into the story, which is obviously a key to what ESPN loves to do. But I mean, that was just wrong. Like an editor should have looked at that and called him and said, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure, this is the route you want to take on this one? Because I'm not telling you what to say, but you picked Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes over who's been the best quarterback over the last 10 years. And it really hasn't been even close, as Dusty said, with anybody.
It's almost like an editor called Adam Vinatieri this weekend and said, are you sure that's what you want to do? Is that sure what you want to do? We'll get into that. But first, I just want to remind you that this year we have partnered with KCUC, who is donating $50 to Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. At KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced neurology team. You see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com. And your season tally. The boys in blue have hit 120 home runs this year. That's good for $6,000 from KCUC. Coming up, who are the future Hall of Famers for the Kansas City Chiefs, and what was the reaction this weekend to the Hall of Fame announcements or the speeches? We'll get to that. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Emmett Johnson, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and fellas, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to be told the truth because you're hiding behind your emotions or your insecurities. It's fine. But you know what? The truth is, ED can ruin the moment, and nobody wants that. Not you, not your significant other, because it's not always about you. But when you're getting intimate with your partner and you aren't able to perform the way that you used to or the way that you're able to, there can really be frustrating times. But at Heartland Men's Health, they're here to settle those frustrating times. There are a wide range of advanced treatment options for every stage of ED that can help you get back to performing again. Heartland Men's Health uses advanced medical science to empower male performances with therapies that go far beyond pills. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So call them today and find out why their advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and in North Kansas City. So call them today at 844-447-6600 or visit them at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Lawman, jungle law.
Hey, it's the Lawman giving you a couple updates. Just settled a case for $1.175 million on a commercial vehicle accident, $750,000 on a motorcycle accident, $557,500 on a premise liability case. Call the Lawman.
The lawman gets results. Jungle law.
If you've been charged with a felony DWI, call the Lawman. You only got a short window to get the admin filed in Missouri and in Kansas. Call me now.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It shouldn't be based solely on advertisements.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and driving in this area means navigating everything from busy metro traffic to open Midwest roads, so having the right auto insurance really matters. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers trustworthy protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that gives you real peace of mind. And when you bundle policies or insurance multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com. Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boost. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Chiefs coverage is brought to you by New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paola.
Spring hail means big savings at New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paola. Save up to $15,000 on hail-damaged new and used vehicles, plus all factory incentives. But this hail of a sale won't last long. New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paola. You always pay less in Paola.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Northland inbound I-29 bogs down past 72nd, stays pretty heavy down past 64th, about a mile of delay there with construction. And then in Grandview, 49 southbound, still heavy from Red Bridge down, not quite to Blue Ridge Boulevard, but looks like construction there in the clearing stages. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Mac, you got a lot of cicadas at the crib?
It's so loud.
It's awesome, I think. Am I in the minority?
Yeah, very much so, I would think on that one, yeah.
I don't mind it, but like sometimes when I'm outside, I'm just like, shut up. It's so loud in my backyard.
That's their mating call.
It's obscene.
They're just going, hey, 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 hey.
You know, it is funny. Sometimes you just block that noise out, though.
Yeah, it goes away.
You know, but
yeah.
but it is annoying. We got a light in here that sounds like a cicada going off.
That's worse.
Yeah.
It does sound like that. Luckily, the headphones go on. You can't hear anything, but when you go to break and take them off, it's just,
yeah, that's worse.
It's like I'm being interrogated. Where were you last night between the hours of 8:30 and 10? Asleep.
Sleeping. Yes, sound asleep.
Yeah. No, I guess I am in the minority, though. I'm kind of big about the cicadas. But I was telling Bob before we were getting back on the air, I got this morning, my flag on the front porch is like wrapped up because we got storms last night.
How about those storms? Nobody predicted that last night, did they? Did we know those were coming?
I mean, no one saw Seattle win the Super Bowl.
That's true.
But no, it's always funny because it's like, you know, we get up so early and come here and like we see the rain and the storm, and then like people that wake up at like 8 are like, must have rained last night. Well,
yeah, well, you have no idea how much it rained this morning. Yeah.
But no, there's a big old sucker. It just like flew like right in front of my face. I mean, probably the size of a ping pong ball.
That's huge. Yeah.
I don't know if they bite.
I don't think they do.
I'm not here to find out.
Yeah, I've seen the carcasses, you know, when they've molted their shells away, and they're huge, right? And those things they're just nasty, I guess. I don't know what they really provide for anybody, quite honestly.
Max
you can make
Buddy.
food out of them.
What?
Oh yeah, have you not seen that?
Oh, like fried cicadas? Like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Like fried grasshoppers and stuff like that. Have you ever eaten
I've
a
not,
cicada?
I would.
I've eaten a grasshopper.
If you were going to bet on one person at the station that has eaten a cicada, who would you bet would eat a cicada? Alex is last on the list, so take him off. You don't get the vote for him. I'm going Drew.
No.
Ooh, no.
I would say Binkley.
Drew's too picky.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew's picky eater?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Drew's picky. Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna.
I feel like Cody would.
Cody definitely would.
Yeah.
I would try anything once.
Yeah, I think HUD brought back like these chili lime crickets.
Yeah, grasshoppers and stuff. Yeah.
And he gave Vern a couple of them. Vern's like, I'm not eating those things.
Why?
He's like, Dusty, you'll eat one. And I ate one in the press box with him and Binkley sitting right there. Weirdest thing I've ever ate.
Yeah, you can buy those. Like they sell that kind of stuff for it's like novelty, right? And you buy it because it's there at that point in time. And you're like, I'm eating a grasshopper. It's
yeah,
kind
you
of
said
cool.
you did it. Yeah.
But I'm not doing it again.
No, that's it. It's once
is enough. Yeah.
It's like Mardi Gras in St. Louis. Been
Yeah.
there, done
Been
that.
there, done that.
Never again.
Never again. No. I'll go to Mardi Gras New Orleans before I do St. Louis again. I'll tell you that.
It was fun. Just like it was one and done.
I mean, that was the only time I thought I had to get into a fight for my wife. Like I was like, all right, enough of this. Like we're out. This is out. We're out of control here. We got to go.
It does look like a zombie apocalypse. Like if you've ever seen The Walking Dead,
yeah,
it's about it's like 2 o'clock in St. Louis.
2
like
o'clock in the afternoon.
like, oh, they didn't make it.
Oh yeah.
And your only ammo that everybody's looking for is water.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, psst, we got a couple water bottles over here. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's
Oh
yeah. Soulard on Mardi Gras. Oh my God.
That's what it is. Like I went there, I was like, are these people zombies?
I've never seen anything like it before. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I mean, it was insane.
You should try it sometime, Mac.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, then you'll have the same react. I feel, I'm not speaking for you or ever will I ever do that, but it's like you'll do it and then you'll be like, okay, you were right. It was fun until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Because you start at like 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's like mimosas or Bloody Marys or red beers or whatever. And then you go down there and you're like, no cell phone reception. So you have to stay with your group. And then it's just like.
And that doesn't happen.
No. Of course
it
not.
never happens.
Never happens.
No.
And I will say this, as you're turning how old at the end of the month? 28?
28.
Okay. You better get that in fast. Because the older you get, the less you're going to be like, I'm not doing
I'm
this.
already to the place where I'm like, it sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot of drinking, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to do that so much. But no, like, do it before you get to that 30 magical year.
Yeah.
And get it done. I think we did it when I was 29. My wife was like 31 at the time. And that was good. I don't need to do that
And then
again.
that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, he went out of his 20s going, I'm going to try Mardi Gras once. And then when I
we
turned
just
30,
moved there. So it's
right.
like, experience what was
you gotta
going
do it.
on and all that kind of stuff. And so we went and people who live there kind of have that same reaction as well. I'm not going down there. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going down there for Mardi Gras. It's kind of like probably a lot of people from out of town probably show because it is the second best Mardi Gras next to New Orleans in the United States. So
it was kind of similar to when we went to the Royals Parade. Back then we took a cab. Right, Ubers weren't really that popular. Guy dropped us off like 2 miles. He goes, as far as I go. I was like, why? He goes, you'll see. Walked 2 blocks, took a left, went, oh.
Yeah, right.
I get it.
Yeah.
Somebody says Goal would be the last, but he's going to eat salad still. They would pick Dusty to eat the cicada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would have no problem trying it if it's cooked. I'm not eating one that I find in the yard.
No.
But
Can I dip it in ranch?
Well, anything is dipped in ranch. It's the Midwest.
Cicadas are the noise that made me think of football season. When that noise is in the background, you know summer is coming to an end and football is starting.
I've heard them all summer long, though.
I didn't really start hearing them until about a week ago. Maybe I just didn't pay attention. Or it's like
that's like who knows what? But I feel like we mentioned them, at the house a couple of times over the summer. Like, the cicadas are loud.
They're definitely nostalgic. I don't
think so.
hate them, but I'm just when they're that loud in my backyard, it's like, okay, I can't even think.
Like, we get it.
Yes. All right.
Get laid.
You're having
Shut
sex.
up.
Shut up.
Yeah. Keep it down over there, Howard.
Yeah, it's like a guy who got laid the first time and he's telling everybody,
Yes. Cool, bro.
Great.
Adam Schefter. Yeah, we get it.
Adam Schefter?
He really had sex?
Well.
He would let you know.
Sources say, speaking of Adam Schefter and football, boy, did Adam Vinatieri come with a script.
I would repeat those last few statements about Coach Bill Belichick as well. Thank you for demanding excellence every single day. Your preparation, discipline, and attention to detail shaped far more than my football career. Unfortunately, Bill couldn't make it here today. There's a lot going on at UNC right now. He may be on a recruiting trip right now looking for the next Lawrence Taylor. I thought it was because training camp had already started, but in truth, it's because he's judging his girlfriend's cheerleading competition.
Laugh. It's okay. It's okay to laugh.
All jokes aside, in my opinion, Bill is the greatest.
Okay. He's the greatest coach of all time. He would go on to also give his buddy Pat McAfee a shot.
Hey, Pat McAfee's here in the crowd today. Great to see you, brother. The only person who enjoyed holding my balls more than my wife. She held for me in the off season when everyone else was gone. Get that right.
Get that right.
He crushed it, right?
Yeah, whoever wrote his script deserves a raise because he didn't write that.
He crushed it yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was great. I thought Drew Brees crushed it too. And then Roger Craig was great. I mean, that's such a sad story
Very
to
sad.
learn that he has dementia and that way to find out and all of that. But I don't know, and I'm being 100% honest, and you guys may have a different opinion on this. I don't know that I've seen somebody more excited to go into a Hall of Fame than Roger Craig was. I mean, that was a long time coming. To see him celebrate the way that he did and see how much that meant to him, that was freaking cool, man. I didn't realize what that was going to mean to Roger Craig like that. Like, I probably should have. But, I mean, he was actually enjoying the moment better than I've seen anybody enjoy their Hall of Fame moment, and I really like that. I got joy out of that, knowing where he is now in life. To see him respond and act and celebrate the way that he did, I was all for Roger Craig, man. That was a great performance by him.
I think that, I don't know, I tend to like Hall of Fame speeches because sometimes you get guys that get up there and, they get raw and their emotions are out there and, the tears flow. And then you get guys out there that, they've had the 5 years or the 6 or 7 years that they've had to be retired to where they've finally got to the moment where it's like, okay, I can reflect and have fun. Like Vinatieri did that, right? He was, one of the most clutch kickers that we've ever seen in our lifetime, at least, where it was, Brady would drive down the field, Vinatieri comes out, field goal, or Manning before he went to New England and all these sort of things. So it's good to see those guys kind of have like a human side to them where there's a little bit of a roast in there, but then there's also like the self-reflection. And then when Breeze was like, to the people of New Orleans that accepted me and let me be the quarterback that I've always wanted to be, because you remember he was in, there's probably people like you always use Andy Reid, Philadelphia. There's probably people like, wait, Drew Brees played for the San Diego Chargers?
Yeah.
Wait, they were called the San Diego Chargers?
True.
Yeah, Drew Brees was there. He got an injury. They thought maybe this was it, and so they moved on. And since then, they've been searching for a quarterback outside of Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, they really have.
Drew Brees goes to New Orleans, wins that Super Bowl. But the next eligible players for the Pro Football Hall of Fame include Rob Gronkowski, Ben Roethlisberger, Adrian Peterson, Richard Sherman, Cam Newton, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Andrew Whitworth, Alex Mack, great show back in the day, Gerald McCoy, and Eric Weddle. over under 3.5 on that list make it?
Well, those are the first times. I've got to see who the other people are that we're still debating, like the close ones that should be in. Like Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame, right? We talked about that the other day. How many people didn't make it this time around that are going to be up next time around? But over and under for new guys, I'm going to go. You're going to go with the over, huh?
Yeah, Gronk, Peterson, Sherman, and Whitworth are 4 Hall of Famers right
Okay,
there.
see,
surefire.
Whitworth is the interesting one to me. First of all, he's been retired already 5 years. Where the hell did that time go?
That is nuts.
Oh, my God. Andrew Whitworth has been out 5 years already. Amazon has been televising games on Thursday night for 5 years now because that's when he came along, right? He was part of that first Amazon thing, I believe. And so I don't know. It's hard for me to tell if he's a Hall of Famer. I didn't watch his games, I didn't watch him play. It's hard for an offensive lineman. I think he's a Hall of Famer because of the last year with the Rams and then going right into TV. Like, he's hit this perfectly with the way that the Rams won the Super Bowl. He kind of became a face of that and then boom, on TV. I don't know if an offense, I think it's hard for me to, and maybe for everybody else, to determine whether an offensive lineman is a Hall of Famer unless that person's on your team, right? You see that guy play every single day. Now, you knew back in the day the Anthony Munoz's, there's some guys that truly stand out. I don't remember Whitworth being one of those guys. He played so long for Cincinnati, and they were such a bad team when he was playing there. So I don't see – I'm ignorant on the offensive line from another team. He may be a Hall of Famer. I just don't know how you – I'd like to hear the case. The case, I think, is going to be interesting, for not just for him, but for any offensive lineman to say how you show that somebody should be, in the Hall of Fame. But I think Gronk obviously gets in. I think Adrian Peterson gets in on the first go. And I do think Richard Sherman gets in on the third go. I'm iffy on Ben Roethlisberger on the first go. I know he's got the Super Bowl and played for a historic organization, and they did a lot of winning.
2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but is that? 2 Super Bowls,
one team, whole career.
Yeah, he's in.
He does have the tainted background where I think they might let him suffer for that.
And there is that, like they did with Chris Carter.
Maybe he doesn't get in on the first time. I think Peterson's for sure in. Whitworth is more so you ask yourself, what linemen do. He did so much in the game while playing the game. I think he won a Walter Payton Man Award. He was the players' voice, the players' union. He was one of those voices for them. Obviously was longtime player, had that Super Bowl walk-off with the Rams and all that sort of thing. So I think Whitworth's in. I think Peterson's in. I do think that Sherman gets in just because he was part of that defense. He was kind of the voice of that defense.
Do you have a list, Mac, of the almost ins this year? Does the NFL release
and Gronk's in
the vote category? Like we see in baseball all the time, they release the vote category, the vote totals. You had to get 75% of the vote, obviously, in baseball to get in. So they show you everybody and what percentage of votes that they got, and you can see who the close calls were in something like that. I don't know if in football they do something like that where they release the quote-unquote close calls, after they do their Hall of Fame vote. I would think it would be kind of cool to see who is on that list and who could potentially be on that list of making it into the Hall of Fame and who fell just short. So you kind of know, going into this season, whether or not we're going to get a lot of first ballot Hall of Famers, or maybe they do some house cleaning and get some people in that have been kind of hanging out for a while too.
Yeah, it's some of the people that were available for this year. Eli Manning was available.
Yep. See, they're going to consider him. He's got 2 Super Bowl championships
I'd have
as
Eli
well.
over Big Ben.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I know he wasn't as good in the regular season, but Big Ben was rarely a top 5 quarterback. He was outside a lot of those years. And his first Super Bowl is not him. Eli Manning, his Super Bowls you can put on his back.
Yeah.
You remember those games.
Yep.
You remember him being a part of it.
Yep.
He beat the GOAT twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Eli Manning's in over. Antonio Brown should definitely be a surefire. And if you get rid of all the personal stuff, there's no question. He's
a Hall of Famer.
15 wide receiver of all time, probably.
Right.
So, yeah, but the personal stuff, I imagine, will keep him out.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
at least for a while, because they'll look at it and they'll be like, there's other guys that we can put in at this point in time as well. There's other guys out there that are deserving. And, again, maybe we should have Vahe on at some point to talk more about this Hall of Fame process and where it stands and how you do it, because it is an interesting process to me, because they do sit around and they go, yeah, this guy is deserving, but not this year. We'll get him in next year. And so sometimes you push these guys down the road a little bit, and then you forget about them too. And that's the other thing. Torrey Holt hasn't gotten in yet, guys. I know we talked about that earlier, but that's a guy that still hasn't been in the Hall of Fame. And each year, new guys are coming up. We've got to get some of these older guys in. So it is a hell of a process.
Somebody asked if Jason Kelsey would get in. I said, yeah, he'll eventually get there. He just got 2 more years until he can be eligible for that, because some of the finalists for this year's ballot that didn't make, Frank Gore was on a finalist, which is crazy. He's been out of the league 5 years. I feel like
That's
we were just
insane.
talking about how he was, Terrell Suggs, a finalist, Eli Manning, Torrey Holt, Bob has mentioned, Reggie Wayne, Darren Woodson, Jason Witten.
Darren Woodson was on with us during the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
That guy's a Hall of Famer, not just because he was on with us. Darren Woodson's a Hall of Famer. And somebody said that on Sunday Night Football. He was one of the golden tickets for somebody, I believe, when they were talking about who to give out a golden ticket to. And somebody said Darren Woodson.
Jason Garrett did say Darren Woodson.
It was Jason Garrett.
Each coach said one of their own respective players that played for them. Yeah.
It is a Monday. It is 6:35, so we can get into our overreactions on a Monday. I don't know if it's an overreaction, but mine is quite simple. Jack Caglione will be the best left-handed power hitter the Royals have ever seen. He's already shown me more than Moustakas ever did. I don't know why I put Moses, but Moose, and more than what John Mayberry could show. I didn't see John Mayberry play, so the older generation that hears this will be like, Dusty, pump the brakes. Cags hasn't really done anything yet. He's still got a long way to go, but
those 2 hits included a double. And he hits a high fly ball, deep center. Back goes Taylor, the center fielder, and gone. Caglione. As they did last night, the Royals jump in front in the first inning.
Here's the pitch. Hit in the air, deep right center field. He might have just done it again. Taylor's to the wall. He leaps. It's out of here. A 2-homer night for Jack Caglione. A 2-run shot, his 20th total home run this season, and Cags has crushed the Cubs tonight at Kauffman Stadium.
that was the Caglione breakout game. That's the things that he can do with the stick in his hand, as he can take over a game. 4 hits, 2 doubles, 2 home runs. It was the Cag show Saturday night against the Cubs. Again, overreaction. Jack Caglione will be the most powerful left-handed batter the Royals have ever seen, as he is starting to come to what everyone thought maybe they would see. 20 home runs going into the game Sunday, was slugging .800, hitting north of 260. Look, 30, 35, hit 260, 265, knock in close to 100. That's what you want to see. That's what you're bat. You need that lineup, and him and Bobby are the future in this lineup with guys that can be pieces around him. Now he's got to get guys that can throw the ball for strikes when the game matters the most, which is the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. But that is my overreaction with Jack Caglione.
Yeah, my overreaction is pretty simple. Until there's a new commissioner, the WNBA is on life support. They may go away. They need a leader, and they need a leader bad. And I would go out there, and I'd be, in all accounts, who's the best leader out there that you could potentially hire? Mark Cuban's one hell of a leader. Roger Goodell's a hell of a leader. You've got to go out and find somebody that is a leader. And until the WNBA has a legit leader, it is on life support. Their commissioner sucks.
Yeah, it's before anything that's happened in the last 2 weeks has transpired. It's been like that. Kathy Engelbert is god-awful.
Do you maybe have like a former name?
No, I think you go out and hire like a CEO, a very strong leader, a very strong leader. Somebody who's going to come in and say, this is what we're doing and this is how it's going to be done.
Like a Sue Bird wouldn't do it?
I don't think that's a strong enough person.
No.
Yeah, no. I think you've got to have an outside voice.
Yeah, someone with experience
leading. Someone with leadership.
Running something.
Yeah, not sports necessarily, but something with leadership that can come in and lead this organization. And I don't know who that is. I mean, I would look towards a CEO of an organization, a company, something outside of sports, because what's going on right now, this league will be done in 5 years. It is an absolute joke, the way that it's acting and the way that it's performing and the way that things are going on. And the problem is there's no leader. When you have bad leadership, everything else stinks underneath it. Look at any organization.
Mac?
Yeah, I disagree with that last part, but I understand where you're coming from.
Are you stewing off the Sylvie Cunningham foul and then the tweet in the locker room?
Everything that happened this weekend. Everything.
There's never been more pressure for a draft pick by Brett Veach than Mansour Delane. I mean, this is. I mean, what we're seeing Caleb Downs do in training camp right now. We all talked about Caleb Downs for 3 months, how he was the guy in the secondary. He looks like he's going to be an all-pro player off the rip. Jordan Tyson was right there for the taking. We talked about Jordan Tyson and the type of ceiling that is. He looks like a wide receiver 1 next to Chris Olave over there in New Orleans. Mansour Delane not practicing in pads right now. Obviously, we're early. It's training camp. He needs to be not good. He needs to be great. Brett Veach traded up for this guy, and there's going to be other guys. Right? Ruben Bain, there's going to be guys there that he's favored for Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to have 7 or 8 sacks this season in Tampa Bay. He needs to be a impactful piece this season off the rip, or you're going to hear it from me and a lot of from other people.
How much of the Trent McDuffie being sent to L.A. has to do with it?
Of course, Trent McDuffie's there too. Yeah, you're going to watch Trent McDuffie kill it on one of the best defenses in the National Football League next season and be a top 5 corner. Mansour Delane better be awesome. Awesome.
That is an Overreaction Monday with Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, and myself, Dusty Likens. Coming up, it's not an overreaction. It's just honest scrutiny. The Bills really dropped the ball on this one or put up the wrong seats. What a disaster that was yesterday when the videos and photos came out. We dive into the Bills' new stadium and where they really failed. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Noah Williams, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for the Chiefs. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have turned our yard into an unbelievable display of grass. I mean, that's the only way I could say it. It's awesome. I love looking at it every single day, and I love looking at it and going, man, those folks over at Aspen, they know exactly what they're doing. I'm envious that those college-educated professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control know how to grow grass where I couldn't. For over a decade, we tried and we tried and we tried, and we just couldn't figure it out. And then we just said, you know what, Aspen, come on in here. See if you can do something with this awful plot of land. And they did. They turned it into the beautiful lawn that it is today. And we get to sit outside because of how beautiful our lawn is and enjoy it with the mosquito dome that we put up. Every month they come out and they spray for mosquitoes. They spray for the ticks, the fleas, all that kind of stuff. And it makes our backyard safe for us and for our dog as well. Right now, Aspen's going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
August is here and the heat is not going to quit, and neither can you. If you're over 40 and the heat is taking its toll more than it seemed like it used to, it might be your testosterone levels declining with age. Visit Low T Center and find out if TRT therapy is right for you. Go to fixmylowt.com and book your free T-test today.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale of the year is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right, you pay what we pay, plus mounting and balancing for only $30 per tire. Reserve yours at TELLEtire.com. Take care of your car, take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
What if the thing you're listening to right now never got interrupted? What if it could play uninterrupted from room to room on Sonos? What if you start with 2 Sonos speakers just to see how it feels? What if you really like how it feels and you become a Sonos person who can't stop saying to their friends, what if you start with 2 Sonos speakers just to see how it feels? Because it's not magic, but it's not magic.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones.
Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender.
Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Journavx suzetrigine begins. Journavx is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
like I punched an angry beehive.
And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Journavx with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Journavx may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Journavx, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit journavx.com.
Life's better in a Ford. This traffic update is brought to you by Shawnee Mission Ford. Whether you're headed across town or across Kansas City, enjoy the drive. This traffic report is brought to you by Shawnee Mission Ford. Visit ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Missouri side, Grandview 49 southbound, very heavy accident at Red Bridge has built delays into the Grandview Triangle. They've got one lane getting by at Red Bridge, and a lot of folks taking the service road exit there. Quite a mess, best avoided. Kansas side, 635 southbound, bogs down past I-70, stays heavy down to K32 with an accident in the right lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Pizza.
Good night for that.
Pizza.
You grilling out in this thick swamp today? Because you know when this stuff starts to evaporate, it's going to feel like a wet blanket out there. It's a good night to just order a good old
pizza.
Do you ever do pizza on the Blackstone?
Never have.
Okay, my wife sent me a video today of a guy doing pizza with homemade dough on the Blackstone.
There you go.
They look pretty good. I was actually impressed by that.
This is something that we need your expertise on, Fescoe. From the 417. I'm flying to Chicago for work in a couple of weeks. It's my first time there. I've already got a ticket to the Sox and a Cubs game at Wrigley.
Nice.
Any other suggestions if any of you guys have been? I said I've never been, so I have no clue, but I do know that Luminati's is a pizza joint that's pretty famous. That if you want to go get the deep dish pizza, I know that's like the only thing from Chicago I've ever had.
I'll tell you, to get the tavern-style pizza actually in Chicago.
Pretty solid.
It's much better. You don't get full like with all that deep dish stuff, and you can eat more. I will say this, go to the Viagra Triangle. That's always fun for people watching, but have dinner at Gibson's and get the key lime pie if you like key lime pie. It's the best key lime pie on planet Earth, and it's at Gibson's in Chicago, and that's a great place to be, especially if the Cubs play a day game, because a good portion of both teams will go to Gibson's on a Friday night and hang out, and it's kind of a cool spot. You'll probably see some people, one of those old school Chicago type things. You got to go upstairs to the bathroom. They got the guy with the mints in the door and all that kind of stuff.
And his name is Les Paul.
He is, yes. It's a very good place to go eat if you want to do that. Walk the lakefront, man. Go out in the morning and walk the lakefront, because that is beautiful. And just find yourself lost in the city and look at the architecture and check out all that stuff. But you're going to a White Sox game, you're going to a Cubs game, you got it pretty figured out. That's a good deal.
Yeah, you get to see Wrigley Field, get to see Murakami. Got a lot of action there to see. The downtown Bean and Gardens. Somebody mentioned.
Yeah, you got to see the Bean, obviously. That's a big deal. Yep.
So everybody does.
Everybody does, yeah. Ride the subway, have fun.
You may not have a lot of fun at the Bills' new stadium. Boy, was this something to see this weekend. Brand new stadium, new architect.
I'm going to tell you, Clark, listen to this segment, man.
Yeah,
Mark Donovan, listen to this segment.
Because if you saw the pictures, there's like screens and there's, barricades around steps that have, glass between them and the field of play, a lot of obstruction to your view. You would have thought that this is something that maybe that they would have looked at before they, did the final blueprint, but apparently not. But yeah, if you go to Twitter or go to Facebook or just go to the internet and type in Bills new stadium reactions, you will see what we were talking about is there's a lot of views that are obstructed due to things that they might not have thought about.
Yeah, and we take that for granted with Arrowhead, and that's why I hope, when they build the new Arrowhead Stadium, it's the same as that we have it now with those sight lines. They're very important. There's so many seats in this stadium that Buffalo put up where you've got railings in front of you. You see 3/4 of the field. Like, if you're building a new stadium, do it the right way and make sure that every seat in that stadium has an unobstructed view of watching that game. I mean, that's what you have to do. And I know Populous, they designed the stadium and, did that up in Buffalo. I think they could have done a better job. And I hate saying that because they're ours. They're our local company. They design all these stadiums all over the place. But having a stadium that's new in 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and when all these new stadiums are going to be opening, there shouldn't be any obstructed views like we saw in Buffalo yesterday. The railings in front of seats like that where you can't see the field, half the stadium is blocking your view, and they're not going to charge you any cheaper for those tickets. You better be sure of that. And so the other thing that bothered me, and I'm going to tell the Chiefs this flat out, don't be cheap when it comes to the video boards. There's nothing worse than a stadium that's got a small video board. Held back Camden Yards for years. They finally put in a big video board out there. But we have been so spoiled with the size of these video boards now at stadiums. Don't be cheap with small video boards. You've got to have the big ones up there. And you've also got to have seats that don't have the obstructed view.
Yeah, this comes from Air Raid Buffalo, a bunch of guys that do a podcast on YouTube, and it says the new Highmark Stadium is awesome, but these are some of the issues I have seen talked about. Number one, the video boards are small. Number two, prevalence of obstructed view seats. Mm-hmm. 3, of course, traffic in and out of stadium.
Yeah.
Haven't even played a game yet. Number 4, coverage for rain, not expansive as thought. And then 5, wind felt strongly at field level.
Yeah, I don't care about 4 and 5. Those are kind of things.
I care about 4 and 5 because they advertised explicitly against 4 and 5.
They
said
that is
that
true.
wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they said about 70% of the stadium would be weather covered, and it's not.
It's not.
It's not. Yeah,
so 20%. Don't say that. That's why I care about it. But
well,
no,
I'm looking at for our stadium. I was going through that list and saying what applies to us. 4 and 5 really don't apply to us because it's going to be domed.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Yeah, so I was looking at what applies to us. Traffic, obviously, that applies to everybody. You've got to make sure your traffic situation is figured out when you're building a new stadium, regardless of arena, baseball, football. If it's a pain in the ass to get to, people aren't going to go. I'm just going to tell you that right now. If it's a pain in the ass to get to, people aren't going to go. So you got to make sure the traffic patterns are good. You got to make sure there's no unobstructed views. You got to make sure the video boards are big enough where you don't need a magnifying glass to see that thing. And then don't lie to people about it either. Yeah, like, could you imagine people that had tickets and sat in those seats and what they thought? I'd ask for a refund immediately.
Well, that's why Buffalo Weather said whoever designed the new Bills Stadium sure wasn't very keen to details. Imagine paying tens of thousands on PSLs on season tickets and walking to a view like this. And then there's 4 different pictures where there's not a full view of the field.
Right, and they said that wasn't the view on the select seat when they picked their seat, too. And so they were lying to people about what they were looking at. And so, I would be asking for a refund. And the Buffalo Bills should be ready to write refund checks to people who purchased those seats thinking that they were something else. I mean, that is a bait and switch. And the covering thing kind of is a bait and switch as well, where you say, 70% of the stadium is going to be, okay, fine, I'll buy tickets to that. That'll be kind of cool. And then come to find out that it's not. But again, that's not going to apply to us, so that's why I didn't factor that one in.
Yeah, and people are posting pictures of USC Bills fans, that is, trying to defend their stadium, which I get, you want to defend your team. But, I mean, if this happens to the Chiefs stadium, we're not going to be defending that.
No, not at all.
Like, things like this are unacceptable. And I don't care about a stadium that was built over 100 years ago, posting USC stadium, posting other NFL stadiums. No, this is 2026.
Yeah, there should not be an obstructed view seat in an NFL stadium. There's no reason to have an obstructed view seat in an NFL stadium at all.
No.
Baseball, back in the day, you had the pillars and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That was different. But nowadays, we've got so much technology out there. Why are we building stadiums with obstructed view seats? Just leave those seats out. You don't have to have those in.
Well, you need railings. Okay, great. I don't need those seats then.
Then you don't need those seats there, yeah. Or make the railings lower or something like that. There's a way to design it where you don't have railings and glass and concrete in front of people's, view.
816 says, Did Populous only spend 13 seconds designing that stadium?
Well done.
Nice.
You get the week, man. You know what? Don't come back till kickoff. We'll see you in September.
Great.
Somebody says from the 417, silver lining is there's a 50-50 shot you won't see them losing in an agonizing fashion during the playoffs. So
That's true, yeah.
maybe you don't have to see your heart break,
Yes.
and that's what they did it for.
Yes.
Not again.
But seriously, if you forked over that money for a PSL and the tickets and you sat in that seat and I can't see the field, there's no way that Buffalo should allow that.
Last year I got, coined as maybe a heel for the Chiefs. And I'm not anti-Chiefs, but I do want to have a conversation where maybe they rank in the preseason when it comes to the top 10, plus what their schedule looks like. All of that next year on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Peter Woods, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football on 96.5 The Fan.
Summer in Kansas City just got hotter. Tim McGraw, the Pawn Shop Guitar Tour. Get lost in the songs you love to sing. Tim McGraw. Morton Amphitheater, Friday, August 21st. Get ready for a summer show you don't want to miss. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo, Duke's mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's mayo in store. It's got twang.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo. This report is brought to you by CM Mose & Son, HVAC, Plumbing, and Electrical Services. CMMoseandSon.com.
Dispatch.
Gosh, this is Mindy at CM Mo's & Son.
Coming to terms with a dying AC unit is tough. If you need to replace your AC, visit cmmosandson.com to schedule your free estimate. CM Mo's & Son. License 202919. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Grandview 49 southbound, heavy with an accident at Redbridge, down to one lane there. Delays all through the Grandview Triangle now. 470 westbound, slow heading into the Grandview Triangle from Blue Ridge Boulevard. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Tune in to Cody and Gold starting at 10 as they broadcast live from Chiefs training camp with exclusive one-on-one interviews and real-time updates from practice. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got it covered.
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts. Don't forget, in about 19 minutes, Josh Vernier sat down with John Sherman and had a conversation about what the team's current state is and what is in the future moving forward. We will play that for you in its entirety today at 7:20. We'll do it again later on in the show for those of you that aren't always in the car at the same time as others. So Josh Vernier, John Sherman, one-on-one, you'll want to hear it. There's a lot of good stuff involved in this interview with Vern and the majority owner, John Sherman, of the Kansas City Royals. But before we get into that, we are officially into football because a lot of people have said on the text line already, hey, guys, it's Red Monday. Technically, yes. They will play this week, Saturday night, at home against the Rams as the Chiefs will set foot on Arrowhead Stadium to embark in their new season, which I don't want to seem like I'm a hater because there was a list that came out this weekend. I know it's Dove Kleiman, but he just copies and pastes other things like the USA Today has released their top NFL teams heading into 2026 season.
I think Dove and ML Football are the same person.
Could be. But he takes this from USA Today as they said the top 10 teams going into the NFL season of 2026 are as followed. The Rams, the Seahawks, the Broncos, the Bills, the Bears, the Texans, the Niners, the Bengals, the Cowboys, and the Lions. No mention of the Chiefs. But the Chiefs do have, according to Warren Sharp, a schedule in which they are predicted by Vegas to have over or under 10.5 projected wins. He goes on to say they have the number one easiest schedule through week 4. 3 teams expected to finish sub 500 plus home versus Denver. But they do have the toughest schedule week 12 and onward. 6 straight games versus teams expected to make the playoffs. Buffalo, the Rams, Cincinnati, New England, San Francisco, and the Chargers. They played the number 2 toughest schedule of pass defenses last year. The 10th easiest this year. Number 1 largest increase in ease of schedule of pass defenses. Opposing kickers made 31 of 32 of their field goals against Kansas City, so 97%. Just the 3rd team since 2000 with a 97% or higher opponent's field goal percentage, and they won just 1 of 10 games decided by 1 score last year. That was 32nd after going 12-0 in 2024 in the regular season and the playoffs. So I think there's obvious questions and scrutiny towards, are the Chiefs back or what will the Chiefs be this year? And it is, according to this, the easiest schedule in the first 4 weeks. Then you get a bye week. So you're going to have people out there that are going to be like, well, the NFL really padded this up for Mahomes and the Chiefs because he gets Denver at home, the Colts at home, then they go to Miami and to the Raiders, or to the Raiders, then Miami. So 2 teams that you assume the Chiefs can handle, and then 2 teams that one maybe is going to be considered maybe the same team as you this year, and the Colts and the Chiefs, as of right now, 10, maybe 11 wins for those teams. Denver, a lot of people think can run it back in the AFC West. You get that game at home, week 1, Monday Night Football, big advantage for the Chiefs, you would think. But I think a lot of people, when they see the Chiefs, because I think that the standard, if you want, with this sort of schedule to start the season is you got to go 3-1. Mahomes, I don't think will be 100% going into the first few games. That knee's going to be there. It's going to be, the feel of the game. And we heard him say this weekend that, sometimes he forgets that the knee's injured, that he just kind of gets into that mode where he starts playing. He's got to realize, you got to ramp it up a little by little. But I think if the Chiefs were to go 3-1, which is, I think, the standard that they should go, a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, the Chiefs are back. They're 3-1. They're going into their bye week. They get back in week 6. They're first place in the AFC West, whatever they may be. And I think it kind of goes back to, yes, this is a perfect scenario for the Chiefs to start because by week 6, you would think Mahomes at that point and Rice and Worthy and hopefully Mansour Delane and these guys that are kind of having these nagging early injuries will be ready to go for the regular season. But I think like last year when we hit that part of the schedule where Rice came back and they almost won 35-0 against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. They beat the Lions, who were completely just decimated with injuries, and then they beat Washington, who had Marcus Mariota, and they win 3 in a row, and everybody's like, all right, this is the team we want. And then Dusty Likens was like, well, let's just pump the brakes here real quick. Let's just, stay a little bit humble here because, these teams aren't where they should be. Yes, you won those games, but you still got to keep going and win some games that maybe people don't think that you will win. But I think if we look back, it's similar to this year too. Yes, the first 4 weeks you could go 3-1, but take what you're playing and then realize that it's important to go 3-1 because of what we've told you what the last half of the schedule is, or what basically after week 9 is, which is Rams, Buffalo, Cincy, New England, Chargers, all those good teams. So maybe when it comes to the first 4 games of the season, yes, put the standard of go 3-1. Maybe you go 4-0. I don't know. 4-0 would be great. But 3-1, I think, is what you should go because of how easy it is and how hard it gets. Plus, you can look at it as a point of, okay, yeah, Mahomes is coming off the knee surgery, going to be ready by week 1. By week 6, he ought to be very well polished and ready to go after the injury. And hopefully you're sitting at a 3-1, maybe a 4-0 record.
Yeah, I think 3-1 sounds good, but it depends on how that one comes. If you get slaughtered by, Denver on opening night at home, I'm not going to feel real good about a 3-1 record at that point in time, because you got slaughtered by Denver at home. And so I just think when I look at these schedules right now, I'm throwing all of this nonsense out because we don't know. Like, I looked at San Francisco, and all of a sudden I'm like, they got 20-some people and their coach that's injured now.
I'm very out on the Niners.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, we thought at the beginning of this that maybe San Francisco would be a good team, but I don't know that they are. And I'm sure there's a team right now that we think is going to be a bad team, obviously, on the schedule that's going to turn out to be a lot better. Like, don't sleep on the Jets this year. I think a lot of people are going to have that game as a circled game for whoever team they root for. Oh, this is an easy win. They're going to be pretty good offensively. I think it's going to be an interesting team, to watch this year and watch what they do. And so that's why with the schedule stuff, it's like, yeah, some of these teams look good right now, and some of these teams look bad right now. But Carolina last year, right? They ended up winning the damn division last year. We didn't think they were going to be that good. And some teams always get the benefit. Like a lot of that stuff that Warren Sharp said, we've talked about, those one-score games. I mean, I think I talked about that 3 or 4 times last week. And if we just go 500 in those one-score games, Chiefs are a playoff team last year.
Yeah, he mentions the pass defense and the ease in that, where you played the number 2 toughest schedule of pass defenses this year. It looks like the number 10 of pass defenses. I mean, that makes sense. They were 6-11 last year, so their schedule should be a little easier when you play some defenses. But no doubt, that's been my thing from the get-go. You got to go at least 3-1, and yeah, preferably 4-0, because that gauntlet, even if you do think the Niners are bad, which I do think that they're in a trajectory that doesn't look too hot. I mean, even weeks 6, 7, and 8 with the Chargers, the Seahawks, and the Broncos, you're playing 2 top 5 defenses in back-to-back weeks. The Chargers will probably sniff top 10. And then, yeah, the Bills, the Rams, the Bengals, the Patriots, the Chargers again from week 12 to week 17. That is a gauntlet that most teams won't face in the NFL. So, yeah 4-0. Frankly, like that should be the standard. Yes, I know that's insane to say. Guy coming off of an ACL, a bunch of rookies, but you've got two teams that won't even combine for double-digit wins in my eyes, in the Raiders and the Colts, or the Raiders and the Dolphins. And you've got a team with a bunch of question marks in the Colts, and you've got an at-home game against a division opponent in the Broncos that you've been able to figure out in seasons past. Yeah, 3-1, preferably 4-0, because it's going to get extremely tough.
Well, and also, too, for that first game of the year, right? Like, everybody's excited about that. Andy does great coming off of buys, and that first game of the year normally is usually a masterpiece. by Andy Reid. And so I think that one for me, I just can't wait to see what they have, dialed up for that game. And I don't know about Seattle. Yeah, I've started the Hard Knocks thing, and I'm not going to fall in love with Seattle. I'm interested to see how they handle the Super Bowl hangover. I mean, most teams don't handle it well. They don't. We've been very blessed to see the Chiefs, for the most part, handle the Super Bowl hangover extremely well for the better part of a decade. But a lot of times these teams make the Super Bowl, they win the championship, they take a big step back, and then they move forward again after that. So I'll be interested to see the kind of the way that Seattle handles that Super Bowl championship and that Super Bowl hangover, if you will.
We are 29 days away from the NFL beginning, and I guess Eric Berry days away. What is the unit that worries you the most after a couple weeks of training camp?
For me, it's the linebackers. I don't know much about them, and maybe that's on me, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of big names. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of depth. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of oomph at that position right now. That's kind of a position that I'm a little concerned about, because I feel like if you get an injury, you may decimate the entire position.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Holton, Bossa, Tranquil, that's
that's all you got,
that's your trio,
right?
I mean, you're talking about Jack Cochran really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. So they're going to be looking for depth, I would think, at the linebacker position once, moves start happening.
Mac Daddy?
Yeah, I'm not a big Nick Bolton guy, so I'm definitely with you there. The cornerbacks, I mean, I mentioned Mansour delaying the pressure on him. We haven't even gotten to see him play. But past that, like, who's the slot corner? I like Alohi Gilman in the safety room. I'm okay with what's going on over there as long as they play Chamari Conner at the safety. But again, it looks like Chamari Conner's going to be getting more snaps at slot corner, a position that he was terrible, for lack of a better word, at. God-awful. One of the worst. As far as completion percentage is concerned, he was like over 80% completion percentage when he was in the slot corner position, which was a lot. We've got a good sample size of him being really bad at that position. So, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of depth in the cornerback room. I think, again, you get an injury there, and you're talking about relying on Christian Fulton and L'Jarius Sneed really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams, most teams, though. I mean, you get that injury. That's why it's so important to be so strong from 1 to 53 and to build that roster out from top to bottom and not just forget about the bottom. Like a lot of teams do. They forget about the bottom third of their roster. That's something that Andy Reid has been very, very good at, is not forgetting about the bottom third of that roster and making sure those guys down there are good enough to start. And that's kind of been the MO over the last 7 or 8 years. Next man up has actually been a good thing here in Kansas City. It hasn't been like, oh my God, we're screwed, because they've done a really good job with the bottom part of that roster.
I think the position group that worries me the most is the wide receiver group.
Mm-hmm.
You're running it back with the same group that you had last year, and I know injuries and suspensions were on the table, but it is almost the exact same group, and here we are talking about Cyrus Allen. Can he be that savior of this group? Savior of what? I mean, it seems more so like, can anybody go out there and be the guy consistently? Rashee Rice, obviously leaving practice on the 8th early with the training staff.
That was planned.
For sure, but I mean, still not 100%, so that worries me. Xavier Worthy, I mean, look, you're playing in a league of grown-ass men, and it seems like it's an issue staying healthy. Tyquan Thornton, I think we know what he is, but you're not looking at this roster this year going, man, got Tyquan Thornton coming back, baby. And then we hear all this talk about Cyrus Allen. Maybe he is that, diamond in the rough that they found out of Cincinnati, and it does work out. But to me, there's just a lot of questions going forward. Like, is this receiving group going to be trustworthy? Is it going to be something that you can look at and say Mahomes will be fine with these guys? I don't know the answer to that question. You might have a lot of questions on what went wrong with the Royals, or where the Royals are going forward, or what the stadium will be. All those answers will get, and all those questions will get answered as we give you John Sherman and Josh Vernier next here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Josh Simmons, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, folks, when your joints hurt every single day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option. But I want you to do your homework and remember, once a joint's replaced, there's no going back. And before you schedule your surgery, consider getting a second opinion from my friends over at QC Kinetics. And whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you right here in Kansas City every day. They concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing pain. And the whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery or in some cases avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option out there before making a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics now for that second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years. And I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
No.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. It's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
Back to savings at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a free MicroGuard Select oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
The summer heat can wear anybody out. But if you've been feeling drained even in the AC, it may not just be the heat. 1 in 4 men from age 35 to 50 has low testosterone or low energy levels, sex drive, motivation, mood, and more. Low T drains your energy and motivation, so you don't have energy for the things that you love and might even stop recognizing yourself anymore. So get the answers you need this summer for free. At Low T Center, you can book a free testosterone test and get a consultation from licensed providers who specialize in testosterone replacement therapy. You can explore a range of peptides and even get a jump on that summer body with GLP-1s and medical weight loss protocols. Low T Center has been the #1 name in TRT since 2009 for a reason. So why continue to wait when you don't feel like yourself? Don't spend another day wondering. Visit FixMyLowT.com to schedule your free testosterone test today. That's FixMyLowT.com.
This is George Karloftis, and you're listening to your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Grandview 49 southbound, your accident at Red Bridge Road, off to the shoulder, but looks like they still got the right lane blocked, or maybe the acceleration lane there. But it is loosening up. It's still heavy in some parts of the Grandview Triangle coming off 435 southbound, pretty slow. 71 southbound, also pretty slow approaching. 470 westbound, a little slow coming in from Blue Ridge Boulevard, but there's an accident there off to the right shoulder before you even get into the Grandview Triangle. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
All right, as promised, as we said, 7:20 this morning. You hear it for the first time. You'll hear it throughout the day. Josh Vernier, our Royals insider here at 96.5, sits down with John Sherman, the majority owner of the Kansas City Royals. A conversation for you today on a Monday. This is John Sherman and Josh Vernier.
First of all, you've been nice enough to sit down with me for the post-trade deadline conversation basically every season since you bought the team. It's greatly appreciated.
Right.
Thank you very much. Well, speaking of the deadline, of course, pretty slow deadline. Talking with JJ, that's a reflection of a team that believes we can get right back at it once everybody gets healthy in 2027. That's your belief as well.
I do believe that. You know, we have work to do, though. I mean, you know, we've got, and I know the way JJ looks at it, we've got this young core of position players that are going to be here for a while. I think from my perspective, our outfield has gotten more productive this year. Still work to do there. You know, we have a rotation that right now, Waka, Lugo, and Cameron, and we've got some guys hurt, but we can build on that. We got some younger guys too, but we can go to the market, I think, and supplement that. But the bullpen is, you know, we got a lot of work to do in the bullpen, and I do think that JJ got a little bit of a head start on that. That's if you look at Duran, Braun, and then you know, I think you look at the wire right now. He's picking up a pitcher every day, right? And some of them you don't know, but I mean, that if you think about a bullpen, that can be cobbled together and rebuilt pretty quickly without spending, you know, allocating a big portion of your payroll. And this year we really had a fairly significant amount of our payroll allocated to the bullpen, and particularly in Carlos and Matt, and you know, really did not get a lot of production there. Obviously, Carlos didn't really get out of the blocks this season, and then we've had some other struggles there as well.
Talk about supplementing the rotation in the market. It's pretty expensive to dip your toe into that.
Yeah, but I think there's some guys that we do have some guys. I don't know everybody's scheduled return here, but we'll be getting some guys back in the middle of the season, you know, and that will be helpful. But I do think we'll have to invest some money if we want to win in 27. The rotation's the key to it. We got to fix the bullpen. And then I think we look forward to seeing the continued improvement of our young players, and you know, there may be some ways to upgrade there as well. But I think if you look at the infield, you know, Michael, Bobby, you know, Vinny, and then Kaggs and Carter, those guys are developing. Those are real Major League Baseball players, and I expect that they'll continue to develop as well.
Yeah, with payroll. I mean, right now, there are teams in first place that don't come close to the money that you're spending. So you're talking about increasing from where you're already at, which is, you know, middle of the road in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, we're freeing up some money. You know, we're freeing up some money that I think we can invest. But yeah, I don't think we've been afraid to. You know, this is. We have our payroll that I think is probably a highest sustained level as the Royals maybe ever have had, right? Mm-hmm. And it didn't work out this year, and that's frustrating. But it doesn't take away from, you know, what we want to accomplish here. We want to win. We want to win now. We think that our division is still there for the taking. Now, at the end of the day, I mean, I can say that today, but we're in last place. We're 20 games below 500. Those results are unacceptable. It doesn't really matter why you lost those games, how you lost those games, the kind of setbacks, because those are the results that we're going to have to live with. And it's compelling that we kind of dig out of that and come back on behalf of our fans here.
You talk about the division. You know, Cleveland pretty consistent at the top and pretty consistently spending less.
Right.
Tampa, Milwaukee, same thing. First place,
right.
Not spending that much. Is that more about what they do well, or where maybe your organization missed this season?
Here's how I'd answer that. When we after 2023, I think we admittedly didn't have the farm system that is particularly on the pitching side, and we had to go out and invest in that. I do think that I think if you give us a full cycle in this development, I think we got really good guys at the front of the pipeline or the back of the pipeline, whatever that is, the younger part. But we had to go out and invest in Lugo and Waka and other people along the way to make sure that we could compete. And so we had to kind of overspend for a market like ours, and that's. But we got to win. This is a business, but. Winning is a big part of this business, and it's what brings fans out here, what keeps them out here, and what keeps them, watching us and listening to you as well.
You reference Waka, Lugo, Reagans, JJ, bringing them all in like a 6-month stretch. Sounds like you still believe he's the guy to do it again.
No doubt. I mean, look, JJ has done a good job. I think he spent a couple hours with him today, as a matter of fact. This is the time of year, particularly in a situation like this, post-deadline. We're going to try to play the best baseball that we can and win as many games as we can out here in this season. But it's time to start thinking about 27 and what we need to do to get ready to put a better product on the field.
That's your message to him right now. Is I want the focus on delivering a winner in 27.
No doubt. I mean, we're not. Yeah. We can giving up those pitchers for prospects that may or may not turn out. Down the road with the kind of nucleus we have, we think we want to be more urgent than that. And again, back to our division, you talked about Cleveland and others. This thing's tight. We had some bad breaks this year. We didn't execute well as well, but we would expect to be in the hunt next year. But look, we got a lot of work to do. I'm not predicting anything. I think the proof will be in the pudding. We've got a lot of work to do as soon as this thing's over in October.
So you're talking with JJ. And what players-wise, what kind of conversations do you have with a guy like Bobby, Salvi, the pillars out there in that clubhouse?
Well, what I want to know from them is, kind of like when we talked to Bobby about when we signed him long term, right? We told him we wanted to make a proposal to him. We also wanted to emphasize that we were committed to winning, and we wanted to know what's important to him. And those last two, those lined up pretty well. We're committed to winning, and winning is important to him. So, I haven't had a chance to talk to him a lot this year other than to just be encouraging, welcome him back, and look like whatever he did on the rehab has worked. The guy is hitting the ball hard. His energy is amazing. In fact, it's been great to see him and Izzy back this week. But no, I'm interested. Salvi, other veterans. We got some guys on this team that let's talk about. In addition to the fact that we had injuries, let's talk about what didn't go well this year and what we need to do to help turn that around. And I want to be helpful to them. And I listened to JJ on that, but I am interested in players, particularly cornerstone players and veterans that know how this gets done.
I guess I can assume with the investment you made in Bobby, but I'm curious how you would describe the motivator that having him is. When you have one of the finest baseball players on the planet for at least another 4 years, how much extra inertia is that going into the offseason as you try to deliver a winner next year?
Oh, that's important. I mean, having a guy like that, he can change a game. But I also think we've got other people around him, too. I think the young people we talked about. I do think, we might have some more work to do, but we have gotten more production out of our outfield. We didn't get Skaggs was out there, certainly in right field. That had a big impact on that. But also Isaac Collins. Izzy's had a solid year with the exception of the injury. Lane Thomas performed for us, maybe not early, but certainly late. And Collins has been solid out in left field and, really been pretty dependable bat and a good defensive player as well.
Certainly seems as if it's fair to say you're not interested in any sort of reset, Obviously not rebuild, taking any sort of a step back to take two forward.
Well, we think about it. We talk about it. We challenge ourselves. I mean, I challenged JJ to think about that. You know, what can we get for these guys? What could we do? And the analysis was that was we're taking a risk that may or may not work out, and it was setting us back. And I think the belief in our core and in the ability to go invest and make sure that we have a rotation that can keep us in games, and, of course, rebuilding the bullpen to make sure we can close games out. We were talking about, you know, you sit up here at a game like last night, right? And you think about 14-15. You get to the sixth inning, and, you know, it changes the way you play the game, right? Because any way you can get ahead by the sixth inning, you kind of wrap this thing up. So the players think about it differently. They're more urgent. We'll bunt. We'll run the bases, play good defense. And I'm not saying we're going to find an HDH, but you got to get back to having that bullpen that you know can close games out.
Royals owner, CEO John Sherman, kind enough to join us here on 96.5 The Fan. As an owner, personally, I always think of Seinfeld and George Costanza and the boss and everybody around.
They got a Costanza bobblehead like this month at Yankee Stadium. Amazing.
They're always delivering that out there. Would you call yourself a demanding owner, demanding boss, leader, however you would describe it?
I don't know I don't know what that means, but I would tell you that the results are important. And when the results aren't there, we need to find out why not, and we need to make sure we turn that around. So I don't know about the word demanding. Maybe you're thinking of George Steinbrenner, and it's a different style. But
would you say the pressure's turned up on your front office after a disappointing 2026?
Well, I think it's always there, Vern. I think this is a results-oriented business. There's other things that go into this business. There's a lot of things. It's a great business. It's not an easy business, but the core business is winning baseball games for our fans and kind of sending them home happy. You know, maybe we send them home happy on Friday night after fireworks, but it's not the same as if you win the game and they see fireworks. Mm-hmm. And I can see the difference when I walk out here at night.
You're one of the, I mean, you understand Royals fans, Kansas City. You're one of the great philanthropists in town. But knowing Kansas City sports fans and knowing what's pending this offseason, how do you think the average person walking through the turnstile handles what's to come this offseason as a lockout could carry into spring training?
Oh, you mean specifically on that, or are you talking about just in general?
No.
Are you talking about specifically in labor?
Yeah, I'm talking about the labor negotiations that are always ugly, nothing new.
Yeah, I'm on the labor committee, so I've got a front row seat. You know, we're bargaining every week right now.
People are ready to get angry about it.
Well, the positive thing is that I mean the sides are apart. I mean, this has been in the media. I'm not saying anything that's not public, but the good thing is that we're communicating more frequently than we were 5 years ago. I think there's an awareness on both sides that a more meaningful change for the business is being asked for, and that it's going to require that we kind of talk every week. And so right now the sides are bargaining every week, and I would just tell you from the league's perspective, this is really about fighting for Kansas City on one hand, you know, for Royals as a small market team, but it's really about my job on the labor committee is to make the league a better business, to have more competitive balance, and to have more fan bases engaged in their team year in and year out at the beginning of the year. And of course, I'm concerned. I got one fan base that I'm really worried about, but as one of 30 owners of Major League Baseball, the more fans that have hope on April 1st, the better the league is. And you know, that's really the objective, and to build a better partnership with the players where we're motivated to grow the game together, that we're in this together and we're in it to grow it together.
Look around Major League Baseball right now, 3/4 of the league still within a shot at that final wild card spot.
Right.
So the hope is present, right? Opening day 2027. Most teams will report to camp feeling as if they have a chance with that added wild card.
Yeah, I think some teams, maybe some fan bases. You know, the fans are telling us overwhelmingly that competitive balance is at the top of top of their list. Somebody said to me, and a lot of people are complaining about the Dodgers, but the Dodgers are a well-run organization. They know what they're doing. They're playing by the rules, and I've got no problem with what they're doing. They're not a villain, right? But they do have advantages that are hard to compete with in this position. Never going to be an excuse for our team. In fact, we play those guys next week. We're going to go in there and try to win 3 baseball games.
Very different entertainment landscape in 2026 compared to 94, 95 when baseball was in a real bad spot. How cognizant are you that baseball's fighting for scraps, for entertainment dollars right now? The NFL is king,
right?
And boy, there's a lot of people clamoring for that entertainment dollar.
Right. Well, I think baseball's got a really bright future. I think, we have we're talking about labor right now. We've got a new media deal coming. I think with expansions on the horizon. So I'm very bullish on Major League Baseball. And as it relates to labor, it's really about building a better partnership with the players and that we can grow this game together. That's how I look at it.
Have you enjoyed the new stadium process, or will you not be able to have a good time until we're walking through there opening day?
No,
What have you enjoyed about the process?
There have been parts. Well, first of all, it's an incredible challenge, right? This is, and right now we have overwhelming support from the community on this project. Crown Center, it's going to be a special place when we open in 2030 or 31, whenever that happens. And but these aren't easy processes. They're not supposed to be easy. And there are parts of it that are frustrating for sure, but you got to keep your eye on the prize here. And we got to keep, and that's what we're doing, and we're getting closer, and it's very exciting. I think we got through our zoning process over the last few days with a public engagement meeting and then with the planning commission. So we're starting to check those boxes and head toward completion.
More good days than difficult days?
Right now?
Yeah.
I would say they're all good and they're all difficult right now.
There you go. Well, you got about 30,000 people about to walk through the gates here. Anything that you'd want them to know that I have failed to touch on?
No, I just think that they should know that, I get up every day trying to help our guys get better to compete, but it's not just that, right? That we're doing things in the community, that we're using this brand and this platform to do good things in the community. That's important to our fans as well. And we've got a special, I think about sports, with the Chiefs. If you think about 2013, the Sporting won the MLS Cup. We had the All-Star game here in 20 and then in 12, right? 2013 and then 14 and 15. The world was watching when the Royals were in the World Series, and that brought a lot of attention to this place. And then a guy by the name of Patrick Mahomes came along, and then the world is watching again. Then we had the World Cup. We built a new airport. A lot of those things. We're in the sports industry business. We're in the entertainment business. But we're in the gathering business. And a lot of those things wouldn't have happened without these sports teams that we have. This is a great sports town. We got great sports fans. And I just want to find a way to entertain them, both, that they have a great fan experience, but also they get to participate in a championship again someday.
When did you first see this vision for Kansas City, or even imagine that the city would be where it's at here in 26?
Well, I did. I think it was about the time we bought the team. I used to, when we were talking to people about the stadium, look, dream with me a little bit, right? We're going to have a new airport. We might get the World Cup, right? We're going to have a new ballpark downtown. That was certainly my vision. Now we have a women's soccer stadium, the only one of its kind, right? Those things are now coming to fruition, and this city's got great momentum. I don't know what we do to build on what we just did with the World Cup, but smallest market by far that got it, and I think we executed it. I mean, I got stuck in traffic that first time out here, but it looked like they cleaned that up. And, like a lot of things, everyone's forgotten about that now because it was such a great experience for the city. So I don't know. It's hard to predict the future, but this is a great place. I feel really lucky to be able to do what I'm doing, and I want to try to make it a better place if I can.
Greatly appreciate the time as always, Mr. Sherman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vern. I'll listen to you on the way home tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Need you.
That is John Sherman with Josh Vernier. Appreciate it. Need you. That's why we love Vern.
Maybe the best one line I've ever heard. Gonna listen to you tonight. I need you. Well done, Vern. That was great.
We can react to some of that. We will play it again for you later on today. We'll have Vern join the show as well to maybe talk about his reaction to what those answers were that he got from Mr. Sherman. But coming up on the other side, we get into Mac Morey's brain with one word here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Alohi Gilman, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Heartland Men's Health specialize in helping men overcome sexual health concerns with personalized treatment plans designed around their individual needs. The truth is, many men live with ED for years before seeking help, but they don't have to. For most men, effective treatment is available right now. And at Heartland Men's Health, they use advanced medical science to empower male performance with therapies that go far beyond pills. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. And some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men right here in Kansas City, and they're ready for you. So call them today and find out why their advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a TNPSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey, it's Brew. Between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. And that's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years, guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, Xfinity makes getting connected simple with same-day Wi-Fi so you can get online in minutes. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match results bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wage.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Northland 169 highway southbound bogs down at the 29 interchange. Stays pretty heavy down to about 9 highway and then sluggish to the airport exit. Construction, the problem through there. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
One word.
First name is Blake, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin.
That's right. It's one word, and it's a Monday, and it's the one word brought to you by the Sand Trap. Great spot, delicious food, cold drinks, TVs everywhere to watch your favorite sports teams. If you want to have a late night and watch the Chiefs, if you want to watch the Royals and the Dodgers, first pitch at 9:10. Max going to be up all night and give us the reaction to the game. You can go see that. It is located at the northeast corner of Blue Ridge and Holmes in South KC. That is the Sand Trap. And on a Monday, they have the KC Dilla. Your choice of chicken or beef, grilled bell peppers, red onions, and shredded cheese on a toasted flour tortilla served with sour cream and salsa. It's just $13. Or if your Monday is all about cheeseburgers, you can get one of those there as well for $9 with fries and $1 off craft beers. Also, don't forget the Sand Trap, Maloney's, and the Landing, all places for you to have your fantasy football draft and any special they have that day. So tonight, if you had your fantasy football draft, which is very egregiously early, you could get all of these specials, including the quesadilla that is $13, or the cheeseburger $9 or $1 off craft beers. It is one word, brought to you by the Sand Trap. Matt Corey.
Roger Clemens was third on that list that we were talking about, right? All-time strikeouts. Nolan Ryan, one word on this real fast. Nolan Ryan has almost 1,000 more career strikeouts than the guy who's number 2 on the list, Randy Johnson.
Fastball.
It's a great
and then
segue.
Roger comes in at number 3. God. Because Scherzer got into the top 10 yesterday with his strikeouts.
One word would be Henry. Most rushing yards over the last 10 NFL seasons. Derrick Henry, 13,018. Derrick Henry after contact, 9,677. Then comes Ezekiel Elliott. Very impressive to see Zeke still there. And then Saquon at 8,300. One word on that Derrick Henry stat.
Nuts. That's crazy. I mean, after first contact, it shows you how tough the guy is. A lot of these guys just go down. I mean, you just keep going. You're that big, though. You just run through everybody.
Freak. I have nothing else, man. Like I'm you know how people say I'm done counting the Chiefs out? Yeah, I thought Derrick Henry's fall off was 2 years ago. He had 1,500 yards rushing last year.
Yeah.
So, freak, dude.
Yeah, first ballot for sure. This is Mahomes complimenting our new running back, Ken Walker.
Number 9. That's all I can say. That's that right there. That change in the ability to catch, run, pass, protect, do everything. Make a play out of nothing to a 20-yard gain. That's going to be the biggest impact I think we'll have. And now it's just finding ways to get him the football.
Can you play the beginning of that cut, please? That's it. Yeah, that's that was a good by Patrick. That's a long one right there.
Cooter.
One word, excited, because when was the last time you saw Patrick that excited about an offensive weapon? Like genuine excitement, like he was
Other than
about
Kelsey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like he is like really head over heels, it seems like, for number 9, Ken Walker, and I'm excited too. That was the comment yesterday that kind of got me excited. Then watching them on Hard Knocks talk about his loss and how big that is for Seattle, I'm really excited now to watch this team play some offense, man. Let's go.
Yeah, one word would be finally. Maybe Mahomes can finally have a running back that can get 1,000 yards in the season and really take the load off of what he has to go out there and do. As he had mentioned earlier this year in camp, I ran way too much last year. In fact, should never have to do that again. So finally, get a running back that can have all the skill sets. You have a 5-tool running back, it sounds like, coming from Patrick Mahomes' mouth.
5-tool running back to 5-tool player, Bobby Witt Jr. This was one of the best defensive plays I've seen.
Man, it seems like they're all 500 feet and it gets 432. Jump throw in time! Bobby Witt Jr. with a Gold Glove play to get Bregman.
Jeter is the one word. That was the MLB did a great kind of combo of the two plays like that. Jumpman Jordan, kind of like esque in the air. You're up there, you're firing that baseball across. There are not many people on planet Earth that can make that play. That was spectacular.
You know, want to be par, as in par for the course. We saw last year in St. Louis, he made a couple of plays. Everybody was like, oh my gosh. And then the rest is history. That play against the Cubs, I mean, just another day at the office for number 7.
Hall of Fame speeches happened this week. Adam Vinatieri, here's a one-liner.
Hey, Pat McAfee's here in the crowd today. Great to see you, brother. The only person who enjoyed holding my balls more than my wife. She held for me in the off season when everyone else was gone. Get that right.
Just the third kicker, I believe, to be in the Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken.
Morton Anderson, Jan Stenerud. No, there's more than 3.
There's some stat about 3 kickers in the Hall of Fame, but yeah. But you're right. It might be more than that. I can't remember.
Well,
the
I know Morton
stat.
and Jan, and Vinatieri's now the third. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else would be in there at this point in time.
5.
5 kickers in there?
Yeah.
Okay, who are the other 2?
George Blanda and Lou Groza.
Okay, yeah, Lou the Toe Groza.
Nicknamed the Toe, yeah.
And,
cool.
And Blanda had half a foot, so yeah. So I would have put him, I should have had him on that list, but yeah, I mean, it was great to see the fun, the humor. I thought the speeches were really good this year. Vinatieri was outstanding. Roger Craig was amazing. And then, of course, I mean, Drew Brees stole the show yesterday, too, or Saturday.
Yeah, polished. It definitely wasn't something that he got a script and then went out there and just raw dogged it. He actually put some thought into there, knew how to, like, deliver the lines. Pat McAfee, what's up, bro? So, I don't know. Well done by Adam Vinatieri.
This story took over the weekend. It's so heartfelt. It's so wonderful about a golden retriever and a duck. I'll just play this beginning part of the audio because it's fantastic, and then I'll explain it.
Justin and Tori Canarelli almost have a typical American family. 2 kids and a dog. But then they've also got this duck.
I just love that opening. This is a golden retriever that was struggling from seizures. They gave him the medication, and it helped the seizures, but then he kind of lost his goldenness, right? He didn't have that spunk anymore. The teacher is the wife's teacher, ends up bringing back this duck. They just think, oh, we'll have it for a week or 2, we'll give it away. That duck and that dog have bonded, and this dog is now being reinvigorated for life. This story has taken over for the weekend. One word.
That's life right there, man. Like, think about human beings and having that kind of relationship and bringing somebody into your life that just makes it that much better for you. You know, people are down in the dumps all the time, and you bring in a friendly face or somebody that's there to make you feel better. It's a great life lesson right there. That's cool.
Life. I think pets are life, man. Like, dogs do so much, whether you're a dog, cat, person, maybe you got a fish. I don't know what it is, but pets can always do that for you. But that's just an amazing thing, like how that can work out with just like the most obscure thing that could help. I mean, had some THC treats for that dog.
NFL trade rumors ranks the top offensive lines in the NFL. The Chiefs finally get some respect. Number 6 on this list: Broncos, Bills, Eagles, Bears, Bucks, and then the Chiefs coming in at number 6. One word.
Finally.
Yes,
Finally somebody other than us is realizing that this offensive line, I think, is going to be pretty damn good this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Proven. Now you got to go prove it. Go be that team. Go be that line. Now you have a running back that knows, where the holes are. The vision's there. Let's see that. Also, we talk about how defensive line helps out the secondary by adding pressure to the quarterback, and it's a domino effect. The offensive line, having a running back that knows where to go and to be patient, can show that they can actually, be efficient as well, because we got a text earlier that says 5-tool running back, but an offensive line that is paid like all pros, yet has never shown if it can run block.
Well, they've had a running back that needs LASIK and a guy off the couch.
Yeah.
So I do not care.
Plus,
you'll see it this year.
Your left tackle's on a rookie deal. Your left guard is on a rookie deal. Your center is an all-pro, the best in the league. Your right guard is a top 5 guard in the league, I think, from the right side.
Yep.
And then right tackle is either a guy that you paid as a swing guy or a guy that you got as a undrafted free agent. So I don't think it is all paid like all pros. So let's maybe relax there a little bit.
That's a great point by you, though, Mac, when you said, you had a guy with LASIK and a guy that was off the couch. How much did the offensive line's reputation suffer because they had Tweedledee and Tweedledum in the backfield?
Yes.
Seriously.
Exactly.
That's a great point by you. We don't think about those things. We see a running back get tackled after a gain of 2, and we're like, got to block better. And maybe you need to look at the hole better and know where you're going
exactly.
better.
And that same guy, well, I love Ware, I love West, I love McKinnon, name your other running backs. Yeah, who do you think they were behind? This offensive line, this is the best running back that Mahomes has played with, and by far the best running back that the offensive line's gotten to block for.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, Monte Ellis says the Warriors would have had the same success if you replaced Steph Curry on their championship teams. Quote, if you switched me and Steph out with the team that won the championships, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, let's just go to break.
My one word would be garage. How long was Monte Ellis in the garage?
Days, weeks, months. I mean, that's a year of weed talking, man.
Get rid of one of the greatest shooters, if not the greatest shooter in the history of the NBA, who's won, 3 MVPs?
Oh, my God.
4 titles. I'd have been the same, man.
It's crazy.
I mean, I get the self-confidence, but, dude, you averaged 8.5 points a game in 12 seasons. It's not like you were putting up 30.
Oh, no, he was better than that.
No, he wasn't.
No, I'm looking at it. He was.
I just looked it up. He's averaging 8.5 points a game.
No, for in 2016, 2017, yeah, for his career, he's 17.8. He was a good player.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a good player. He was a good player, but no, we're talking about best or second best point guard of all time, Steph Curry.
Even still, I don't care what he was averaging. He's not Steph Curry.
You're high.
We'd have been just as good if I replaced Mahomes at quarterback.
Yeah, exactly right.
Seems Monte Ellis was in the garage and his thoughts are gone. Royals lose 10-2. That is one word brought to you by the Sand Tribe, a great spot with delicious food, cold drinks, TVs everywhere to watch your favorite sports teams. It's located in the northeast corner of Blue Ridge and Holmes in South KC. Today on a Monday, the KC Dilla, your choice of chicken or beef, grilled peppers, red onions, and shredded cheese on a toasted flour tortilla served with sour cream and salsa. It's $13, or you can do the $9 cheeseburger and fries plus $1 off all craft beers, and a great spot to have your fantasy football draft, because any special that they offer that day that you have said draft, you will be able to, relish in those days of those specials. But that is one word. And coming up next, we get into Andy Reid being the 4th best here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Ken Walker III, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending want to help you guys save some cash, and they've helped us over the years as well. We've been with Golden Oak Lending for the better part of a decade now, probably over a decade right now, and we've all been there in those situations financially where you just think like, there's no relief. There's no end in sight. But there is. And if you have those high-interest credit card balances, the higher grocery bills that are getting to all of us, and everyday expenses, they're all keeping us up at night. Well, maybe you're paying those bills every single month, but you still can't seem to get ahead. You make the minimum payments, but because of high interest, the balances barely move, or they just keep growing. and you may have equity built up in your home right now that can help. A simple refinance from Golden Oak Lending may allow you to use that equity to consolidate high-interest credit cards and other bills into one manageable monthly payment, giving you the much-needed breathing room you've been looking for. So start with a free mortgage checkup. Call Golden Oak Lending now, 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD, or visit them at goldenoaklending.com. Golden Oak Lending, MLS 114937.
You've pictured it. The garage door that finally makes your home look the way you want it to. And now get $500 back on a qualifying garage door with the Overhead Door Home Refresh rebate. Qualifying purchase must be made by September 30th. Let Overhead Door Company of Kansas City upgrade your curb appeal and get you up to $500 back. Schedule a free estimate at overheaddoorkc.com. Overheaddoorkc.com. Select models. Rebate paid as a Visa prepaid gift card. Restrictions apply. See website for full terms.
Hey, it's the Lawman giving you a couple updates. Just settled a case for $1.175 million on a commercial vehicle accident, $750,000 on a motorcycle accident, $557,500 on a premise liability case. Call the Lawman. If you've been charged with a felony DWI, call the Lawman. You only got a short window to get the admin filed in Missouri and in Kansas. Call me now.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It shouldn't be based solely on advertisement.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code SNAP to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Chiefs training camp coverage sponsored by Border Magic, giving your landscape its winning edge. This football season, give your home a winning edge with Border Magic. Custom concrete landscape edging adds lasting beauty and unbeatable curb appeal. Choose from a variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. southkc.bordermagic.com.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side, 35 southbound, heavy around 635, stays off again on again, heavy down past Shawnee Mission Parkway. 435 southbound, slows at Holiday Drive, stays pretty heavy down to Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into Fescoe and Dusty.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
A show that, analytically, exists between 6 and 10 weekday mornings on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, buddy.
Live from the studios that brought you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Here's Bob Fescoe and Dusty Likens.
All right, Mac, you ready to get a little juicy? How about this for you from the text line from the 816? Kareem Hunt, rookie year, is better running back than Ken Walker.
I mean, yeah, we could argue that.
Who knows?
Played with him for 8 games. That would be the argument.
What'd you say?
Mahomes played with him for 8 games. That's the argument.
With Kareem?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the sample size is tiny, and also, like, I don't know. Like, cool. It was 8 games. Got Ken Walker here for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see, when it's all said and done, and I think Ken Walker, you're right. He's the best running back that Patrick Mahomes has had the opportunity to play with for an entire season.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And yeah, we didn't know going into that season that Kareem Hunt was going to be off the team by the time the year ended, but he was, and it is what it is. And so we move on from there, and they never really did fill that need at running back, but they went on and they were winning Super Bowls, everything was going good. They didn't need to. Then they had that moment where they had to reassess everything and change what they were doing, and they did that. And that's why I love the Chiefs as an organization, because they realized what they were doing, and they milked it for as long as they can. And then it bit them in the ass, but then they changed. It wasn't like they came back this year and go, nah, we'll be fine. Just bring back Kareem, Isaiah Pacheco again. No. We had a bad year. Screw this. Best running back available, Super Bowl MVP. Let's go. That's how you change the franchise over. You do the drastic, and that's what the Chiefs did. Fired coaches, got rid of the running backs, brought in a new running back, spent big money on the biggest position of need, and went to work. And that's why we're excited about this team, I think, going into this season.
Exactly. Yep.
Real quick before we get into this Andy Reid conversation, this comes from the 816. Hey, boys. Would y'all shout out my son, Charlie? He and I are driving up to training camp this morning. I'm hoping to surprise him. He's going into the 6th grade this year. Thanks in advance, Joe in Gladstone. So have fun out there, Charlie. If this is your first one you've ever been to, if you're in the car, the surprise has been ruined.
Surprise, Charlie, you're going to camp.
Hopefully you're about 20 minutes away from St. Joe, because I'm sure the lines are going to be long. The rain has passed. Have fun, man. Soak it all in. It's the most. It's kind of the most real football you'll see, because there's no pregame antics. There's no anything like that. You get to see these guys in their true self, walking down the hill, getting ready for a scrimmage. So Charlie and Joe enjoy the day in St. Joe. That's a great father-son thing to do. So
yes, it is, man. Historically awesome. I got a text from somebody the other day that was taking their kid up to training camp, and it was like creating memories. And that's exactly what this is about. You're creating those memories, and I am an advocate of it. I was taken to training camp as a kid, and I fell in love with the NFL, and here I am 40 years later, still in love with the NFL because my dad took me to training camp back in those days. And I think it allows you to become a fan in a different way. You're up close and personal. You meet a couple of the players, get a few autographs. It's the best, man. It really is.
So 4th on the list, top 10 NFL coaches right now. This is via CBS. Sean McVay, McDonald, Shanahan, Andy Reid, Sean Payton. That's your top 5 going into 2026 in the NFL season. Top NFL coaches, top 10. You don't need the bottom 5, but McVay, McDonald, Shanahan, Reid, Payton. Does that list anger you, or is that a? And then John Harbaugh is the Coach of the Year favorite.
Yeah, I don't know that it angers me. Like I just don't think you can put anybody over Andy Reid as the best coach in the NFL right now. He is the best coach, regardless of what people want to say. Now, if I was starting a franchise, I would not hire Andy Reid, though, to be my head coach because, well, the longevity of it, right? You're looking at the longevity of it, and we know that Andy isn't going to be around for another 20 years to put a program together and to build, a situation. But it doesn't mean he's not the best coach in the NFL today, right now. You want Andy Reid on your sidelines. You got one season to say, you know what, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to give it my all for 1 year. You are hiring Andy Reid to give you that 1 year. Now, if I'm going further and I'm saying I'm building a franchise that's going to be sustained for the next decade plus, well, then Sean McVay is going to be my coach, or Kyle Shanahan is going to be my coach in one of those situations because they're much younger than where Andy is in his career. But that by no means takes away from me, in my opinion, of Andy still being the best coach in the NFL today.
What do you think the gap is smaller? Mahomes as clear front, the best quarterback, or Andy Reid as the top coach in the league? Because I would say the coaching gap is probably closer.
I would think so, too.
Now, I think that there are people that have seen, some good quarterback play, and Mahomes has 1 year where he missed the playoffs, so we'll kind of dive into that this year as we know that there's been articles written about, Josh Allen and everything that he has. But to me, the takeaway from this is that Andy doesn't really need to prove his worth on this list. 3 Super Bowls, 5 years, that's fine. But, where he can prove it is if he can age like fine wine. We know that, in the NFL, what do we say? Oh, once you turn 30, good luck. Baseball, it might be once you turn 35 or whatever it may be, or basketball could be once you turn 31 in the NBA. It's like, all right, are your ankles still fine? Are the knees still good? Coaching, it seems like Mac, that age is about 65. And once coaches kind of get to that age, it's like, does the game pass them by, or do they continue to rejuvenate themselves into sticking around in this league? Because one thing that is very clear and evidently obvious, there is a trend that has started in the NFL that started by maybe John Gruden or Sean McVay, that get a young mind in there that's aggressive, that, kind of knows things that maybe these older guys haven't picked up on. And one thing that we've seen is Andy Reid has, been able to bounce back and adjust, and going 6-11 with an offense that has been quite stale for almost 2.5 years now. This is now a test for Andy Reid. Can you maintain yourself in the top 4? Can you put yourself back up there to where everybody goes, oh man, Andy Reid found something? Got a running back in Ken Walker this year. Hopefully your left tackle is there for the entire year. Your offensive line might be better because of a running back with vision, and you can take that load off of Patrick Mahomes and just saying, oh, I've got the greatest quarterback in the game and maybe one of the greatest we've ever seen. Okay, go out there and win it. That's pretty easy, right? Like best tight end, best quarterback at the time. You had the greatest wide receiver in Chiefs history. All that's nice. Now you don't have that. Now your quarterback will be 31. Now your tight end is 36 and on his last year possibly. What can you show us that you can do at the age that you are that a lot of coaches seem to dissipate quickly once they reach that threshold?
Also having Ben Johnson at 6 after 1 year is pretty remarkable to have him on that list of best active coaches. Harbaugh on there, Vrabel at 8, combining both places that he's been.
Harbaugh Chargers.
Yeah, Harbaugh Chargers. Yeah,
yes.
Vrabel at 8, combining both of his places. DeMeco Ryans is still early for him, even though he's had a lot of success down there. But again, we're talking about active coaches. We know what that list is like. And then LaFleur out of Green Bay coming in at number 10. So we could debate that list all day long, because I think if we were all three tasked to come up with our top 10 coaches in the NFL, do you know how completely different our list would look?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a fun list to make.
And then do it a second time, and it would look completely different from your first one, too.
Yeah, do it 4 weeks later, it wouldn't even be close to it.
Right.
I'll say, I think, Dusty, it's more than aging like fine wine. He's already done that. Now we're talking about unprecedented levels of, you said the age of 65. I'll go 55, 50. Okay. I mean, you don't see many coaches, 4 coaches right now over the age of 60. By the time you're in your mid-50s, you're done, you're retired, you're fired, something like that happens, you're back to being a coordinator.
There's not many like Andy Reid out there.
The coaches that are this old are Andy Reid, they're Bill Belichick, they're the Walshes, they are the GOATs. Now, Andy Reid's trying to do something that's never been done. He'd be the oldest coach right now to win a Super Bowl.
How old is Andy?
68.
He's 68, because the oldest coach right now to win a Super Bowl was Bruce Arians. Mm-hmm. He was 68 years old in 127 days when he won it in Tampa. So Andy will be older than that when they win it this next year.
Yes, when they win it. Exactly right. So I think he's trying to do something that's never been done. It's unprecedented. We've seen him age like fine wine and transcend and go into multiple eras. But yeah, his inability to adjust these last few years would be my reason that I wouldn't put him number 1 right now.
Yeah, and we'll see now. All the adjustments are there for him. This is now on Andy Reid, right? Brett's got him your running backs. Yep. You went and you got your new coaches. Like everything that we complained about, right, has been fixed off the field. Now it's up to Andy Reid and this team to implement it on the field. And look, they will. They will. I'm positive they will.
Somebody in the text line says they'd take Vrabel over McVay to start a franchise right now.
Ooh.
Tough take.
Wow. I wouldn't go anywhere near Mike Vrabel at this point. A year ago, we're having a conversation. Now, I think he's... I got to be honest with you, man. Some damaged goods out there right now with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, if you're just talking football, that's really a stylistic question. What kind of football team are you wanting to run? Vrabel and McVay are completely different leaders. They're completely different football styles. It's about what you want and like in football. And yeah, so if you like Vrabel, just forget the Rossini stuff.
Yeah, I think that's hard to do, though, because and I say this because I'm hoping, but who knows if there's more, right? We all want more juice. We like gossip. It's human nature. So you have to think about that kind of stuff as well. And I'm like, God, is he going to be around to coach my football team?
Mm-hmm.
That is the Andy Reid conversation on a Monday. We will switch our conversation to Josh Vernier. You heard the interview earlier with him and Mr. Sherman. We'll talk about that, plus where he thinks the team should be going in the future when it comes to this team. And maybe I'll throw that Caglione overreaction his way as well. Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, joins us next here at 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Saquon Thornton, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Hy-Vee, this is their time of year, folks. It is football season. It is Chiefs season. And for all your Chiefs needs, you can find everything you need, whether it's a home gate or that tailgate. You can find it with my friends over at Hy-Vee. They've got all your Chiefs gear, the Chiefs cookies, the Chiefs cakes, all that kind of stuff. We've got football this weekend out at Arrowhead, and you're going to want a tailgate or home gate. And you got to make sure that you're at Hy-Vee getting all the great specials and all the great food needed for your perfect home gate or tailgate. And Hy-Vee right now is making your life easy with all the convenient services they offer in one stop, including all of your pharmacy needs. It's so easy and convenient to have your prescriptions filled while you shop for groceries. Get your seasonal flu or COVID vaccines while you wait as well. Now, through August 23rd, you're going to earn a 5-cent per gallon fuel discount with every prescription you fill at your Kansas City area Hy-Vee. Save money. What could be better? Only at Hy-Vee.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code SNAP to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins AeroBurst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of AeroBurst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wager.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason
Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
Yeah.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. It's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or LewisburgFord.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Northland 169 highway southbound, heavy from 29 down to Briarcliff with construction. Also an accident reporting through the Grandview Triangle. Things look good. 435 westbound, sluggish from about 103rd to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Welcome back to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Long-time listener and supporter of you because you tell it like it is.
Here's our Royals insider, Josh Vernier.
Back at it, 96.5 The Fan on a Monday. We're now joined by our Royals insider, Josh Vernier. Vern, glad to have you. Thought the interview was good. Thought you got some solid questions out there. Love the one about him saying basically they're going to have to go spend money this offseason on rotation and bullpen, and that ain't cheap, my man.
Yeah, listen, when we spoke last Monday, I don't know if I've been as downtrodden about the future of this organization as I was in the wake of the Luinder Avila elbow surgery. Looking towards that pitching staff in 2027, we spoke about it. Unless this team is ready to throw money at the problem, keeping in mind that it's a small market team that's in the middle of baseball as far as spending money. I wasn't expecting to hear such a, I don't know, would you guys call it a commitment to spending money to fix this rotation? That's what it sounded like to me. It sounded to me like he said, JJ, figure out a way to fix this bullpen and do it on the cheap. But the rotation, we're going to have to go to the market. Not that we're going to bring in a Tarek Skubal, but, I'll allocate the money for you to hopefully try and find another Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha. And that's the only way this team can compete, is if they strike gold in the free agent market once again.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, Vern. When you look at the guys that are available, obviously we can go through a list of that, but I want to focus on our own guys. We're also asking Lugo and Wacha, who are now fighting father time. I mean, guys can be 36, 37 years old. We're trying to recapture what happened in 2024. That's now 3 years ago, Vern, and, it's going to be 3 baseball seasons, obviously 2 full seasons and then the start of 27 since 24 was here. 24, we got to stop looking back at 24 and acting like that was the breakthrough moment and realize that was kind of just an aberration. And relying on Lugo and Wacha, to me, another year in their late 30s, that's very thin margins as well.
Yeah. And to go back again to our conversation last week, that's why I was so, and it's fair if you're still concerned about 2027, because you need 2 starting pitchers that are better than Wacha and Lugo. To me, Wacha is your number 3 on opening day. That team can compete. Seth Lugo is your number 4, opening day 2027. That's good, man. I mean, you look at Seth Lugo's numbers. He's been a league average pitcher. He's top 25 in innings pitched. On average, he's given you 5-6 innings and a chance to win. That as your number 4. That in this market, man, that's more than good enough. A guy that's going to take the ball every 5th day, going to give you some frames, going to keep you in the game. For the most part is, knock on wood, hopefully going to stay healthy. But that is your number 4, whether that's a Jason Vargas type, a Jeremy Guthrie type. You need those veteran horses to help you get through the 6-month season with Noah Cameron as your number 5. I have no issue with that 3, 4, 5 in the rotation. The issue is you need a 1, you need a 2, and then you need a rotation down in Omaha to be ready at your beck and call when and if an injury shows up at some point next season. So, yeah, listen, and John Sherman said it. It all begins with starting pitching. Whatever hope this team had in late May of this season, and it wasn't much. The season was basically a wrap by late May because of the disappointing starts from Vinny, Salvi, Bubic, Reagans. But once Bubic and Reagans went down with injuries, then it was a wrap because there was nowhere to turn. The offense wasn't good enough to single-handedly carry you back to contention. Now, in a market just like in Milwaukee, in Tampa, in Cleveland, it's always going to be led by the pitching, the homegrown pitching, the pitching department that acquires a Kyle Harrison like we see in Milwaukee, a pitching department that acquires a Drew Rasmussen like we see in Tampa. Guys go to Milwaukee, they go to Tampa, and they get better. So that's now the job of the pitching department to help some of these relievers that you're bringing in, some of the guys that you acquired at the deadline, make them better. I certainly have scoffed at the waiver wire claims and all of these, goofy name guys that they're bringing into the bullpen.
Yeah.
But that's okay. If I scoff at them, it's now the job of the pitching department to make them better and find a few diamonds in the rough.
Vern, what is more important, getting this bullpen fixed that you can trust it or getting at least 1 to 2 more guys in this rotation?
This offseason?
Yeah.
You have to do both if you're going to compete. You can't have a crappy bullpen and expect to be there in the end. But the rotation is going to log more innings, so the starting pitching to me is the most important. And again, to go back to Bob's point about the veterans and the age of Lugo and Waka, it's not as if you just need 2 starting pitchers that can take the ball every 5th day. You need someone that you can give the ball to on opening day and get the fans excited. You need somebody that you can give the ball to for Game 2 of the ALDS. Okay, you want to give it to Waka for Game 3, I can handle that, but boy, it's really tough to go find a number 1 and number 2. We're talking, go get a James Shields, go find a Cole Reagans, go find a Johnny Cueto or Yordano Ventura. That's the type of talent that this pitching staff needs, and I just named the 4 most talented pitchers in the last 20 years of this franchise. That's what they need.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've used this term before, and I'm going to go back to my history days. It's almost like they're trying to fight a 2-front war in the organization where you're trying to win at the big league level, but you're also trying to grow the minor league system. And I think that's very hard to try to do both of those because if you had that minor league system grown, you wouldn't worry about Lugo and Waka, being here or being part, and you would have been able to trade them. But you also should have been able to trade them because the minor leagues doesn't have what it needs to do. I just think in a market like Kansas City, and we continue to say that, I'll get to that in a second, I think it's hard to try to develop your minor leagues and win at the big league level as well. I think it's very hard to fight that 2-front war.
Milwaukee's doing it quite well.
I know, and
right?
that's where I wanted to get into. Like, we see Milwaukee, we see, Cleveland's a little bit below 500 right now, but Chicago, the White Sox, those 3 teams, hell, the Twins are right there, the Guardians are right there. Like, every team in this.
And the Twins sold everybody last year.
I know.
So that should show that it can happen quick.
And look, the Chiefs got rid of Tyreek Hill and traded him. And so John, being a Chiefs fan, should see that and realize it's okay to trade big-name players and get guys back that can help you move this organization forward. I just feel like when you're fighting this 2-front war of trying to win and trying to build up a minor league system, you hit a wall. And I kind of feel like that's where they are right now, Vern, if that makes any
possibly.
sense.
Sure. But as far as the trade deadline, again, it's Waka, really.
Yeah.
Really, that's what we're talking about. Lugo's not bringing you anything back. Nobody wants Alex Lang and Daniel Lynch. Daniel Lynch, okay, you could have moved him as well. But listen, it all comes down to this offseason, Bob. If they bring in, reclamation projects, guys that were good back in 2024 but haven't done a damn thing since, and they say, hey, here are our additions to this rotation, well, then I think what you just said is going to echo even louder. But if they go out and bring in another Waka and Lugo, obviously younger, the 2024 version of Waka and Lugo or Reagans, if they can go find those guys this offseason, okay, then the decision to hang on to Michael Waka was a correct one. I'd also note that I don't know, because the way that, again, and I've mentioned this before, the way that I view this organization right now, if I'm J.J. Piccolo, if I'm John Sherman, is, all right, it's likely not in the cards for 2027, but I'm not going full reset, rebuild when I have Bobby, Carter, and Cags, Vinny, Mike Howell, 5 guys that would never sign in Kansas City if they weren't drafted and developed by Kansas City. When I have that type of a core, okay, maybe I'm willing to admit that 27's not going to happen. But, man, we have to put a winner on the field by 2028. And Michael Waka's under contract in 2028. So unless you can deliver me something via a trade that is going to guarantee me this guy's going to take the ball every 5th day in 2028, I'm not parting with Michael Waka, because if I'm John Sherman, okay, 27's not happening, but 28 has to be a competitive season. So what can I get for Michael Waka that's going to help me in 28 more than Michael would himself? And I don't think that offer ever came across the table.
Vern, I thought it was an interesting night on Saturday seeing my guy Cags kind of just completely take over a game. We had an overreaction segment today. I think he'll be the best power-hitting left-handed hitter this Royals franchise has ever seen. Seeing that sort of, and I know there's John Mayberry in there, and there's Moustakas will have something to say about that as well. But seeing just that natural power and the opportunity to just kind of take over a game, as we've always, everybody thrives and wishes to have that one bat in their lineup. Starting to see more of that, and Saturday night's game kind of gave me that sort of, futuristic look at what he could possibly be in this lineup.
Yeah, I was diving into Cags' numbers. Now, Dusty, the thing that I'll roll with you as far as the records are concerned, because if Bob sticks around, every record's going to belong to him. He might even catch George at, 31-54 as far as his base hit total. Wow. But I could see Cags breaking Salvi and Soler's single-season home run record of 48. I think that's definitely in the cards, especially if he's at this new ballpark. But Cags right now, you can dive into the nerdy numbers, and for a 23-year-old, he's putting together the best hitting season, the 3rd best hitting season in franchise history for someone his age. Only the aforementioned John Mayberry back in 1972 and George Brett in 1976 put up a better adjusted OPS than what Jack Caglione's currently on pace to do. And what that does, adjusted OPS, it takes into account the ballpark that you play in, takes into account the scoring climate, so it makes it easier to compare eras. So the fact that Jack Caglione at this age, again, because he debuted last year, because Carter is slightly younger, I do think that we tend to forget, and Cags just looks like a grown-ass man. We forget that he's 23, that he started the season as the 2nd youngest player on the team, second only to Carter Jensen. He's going to end the season as the 2nd youngest player on the team, only to Carter Jensen. And opening day next year, he's likely to be the 2nd youngest player on the team, second only to Carter Jensen at the age of 23. So, whatever sort of outlandish prediction you want to make with Cags after that game on Saturday, and just the season that he's putting together at this age, if this is the floor, if he's only going to improve, and I don't see a single reason why he would do anything other than improve, he's certainly going to be in the conversation as one of the most powerful, not just lefties, but one of the best sluggers, lefty or righty, in team history. Right there with Salvi, Soler, and whoever else you want to throw into the mix. Yeah, offensively, sky's the limit when it comes to Cags.
So, Vern, you had the opportunity to see John when you were talking to him about the team and where they are, doing that interview face-to-face. You get to see the reactions and all that kind of stuff. I want to ask you what you took away from your conversation with John Sherman.
Yeah, I mean, Bob, I think you would have my back on this because no matter how I respond, it's going to sound like I'm a lapdog.
Absolutely,
for Sherman and the organization.
Right.
But he cares. He cares about the product on the field. He cares about the people that are walking through the turnstiles. I think he truly cares about the city. I say it all the time. To me, there's only two reasons why you would buy a professional franchise: ego or civic pride. He, of course, has an ego, but I would say it's 55-45. I think the civic pride wins when it comes to John Sherman. And as a sports fan, that's all you can really ask, is someone that truly cares about the city, the franchise, and putting a good product on the field. I think you have that in John Sherman. I think the only time I saw any sort of frustration or agitation on his face is when I stuck with the labor talks maybe a little bit too long for his liking. But,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the other thing. Are we
that?
planning for 27? Or, I mean, like, everybody talks like we're planning for 27, and I'm sitting here going, why? I mean, we may not even have a 27, or it really sounds like the Royals are planning for a truncated season next year. That's why they think it's okay to have a guy like Lugo and Waka get you through 60 or 70 games maybe.
And, baseball really would be fine with that because they don't make their money until August, September, and into October. So, we missed the first month of the season when it's ice cold and nobody's showing up to the ballpark. That's fine. I don't think the owners would sweat that much. But, to your point, I had someone in the press box tell me, well, of course, Sherman promised to spend money. There's not even going to be a season next year. He could promise the world to the fan base. So, detractors could point to that and say, it's all a bunch of hogwash that we heard from the billionaire. He's just trying to get the fans on his side before he tries to tear apart this players' union.
So, I guess if they do miss, any of the season, what would be would it be like, what is the possibility of not having a season, like percentage wise as of today, August 10th?
Yeah, I mean, I know I saw I think we all get those emails with the odds. I think it's like minus 3,000 that the World Series will be played, that the All-Star Game will be played. So no, to bang an entire season, holy crap, baseball would have to have their heads so far up their behinds to do something like that. I agree with what Bob's hinting towards. I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe miss 30 some odd games, 30, 40 some odd games. Spring training starts sometime in March. Season opens up sometime in, late April rather than late March. Maybe the All-Star games push back a little bit, but they'll make sure the postseason starts on time because the television dollars await, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will second what you said about John, too, wanting to win here in Kansas City. I mean, I know that's what he wants, and I didn't have the opportunity, as same with you, to cover Ewing Kauffman, so we can't compare him to Ewing. But he's the first owner that I've known with the Royals that was so committed to Kansas City and wanting to make sure that we had a winner for Kansas City. He says it all the time. And I know the cynical Royals fan, Vern, will say, then spend money. But I would turn around and I would say, if you just develop that farm system, you don't have to worry about the money because all these teams that are winning aren't spending a lot of money right now.
Well, you have to. In this market, even if you implement a salary cap and a salary floor, Kansas City isn't the place where, everyone's clamoring to, at least on in the baseball sense, you hit free agency, not many people are thinking about Kansas City. It's New York, it's Los Angeles. So you have to draft and develop because, as I mentioned earlier, if Bobby or Cags or Carter or Vinny or Michael were drafted by any other organization, there's no chance they ever end up in Kansas City unless they're like 39 years old at the end of their career, a la Craig Kimbrell, where you come here for a few dollars at the end. No, you have to build up that farm system. And, down in A-ball, they got quite a few pitchers, quite a few very interesting bats that they drafted last season in the first round. So, yeah, I mean, they're a few years away for the Churio and the Shields and the Josh Hammonds and the rest. Yeah, what we're seeing right now at AAA, at AA is the turnover, the bumpy turnover from the last regime to the current regime.
Vern had a really interesting question for you because I was there Friday night, and I've never heard an opposing fan base louder in my life during the seventh inning stretch. That was something, man. The home of the Cubbies, and I was like, oh wow, okay, this is impressive.
Yeah, I have a tough time disliking like Pete Crow Armstrong or Alex Bregman. Even Cubs fans to a certain extent. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to annoying Yankees and Red Sox and Cardinals fans taking over Kauffman Stadium that when Cubs fans do it, they at least seem like they're in a good mood, to where Yankees fans and Red Sox fans and Cardinals fans are, kind of looking down their noses at us. Cubs fans are just here for the party.
That's exactly right, man. You know what it's like up there in Wrigley on a Friday afternoon. They don't even know there's a baseball game going on.
Passing out the Malort, getting all sorts of sideways.
Come all, right? How can you ever hate Mark Grace? That's got to be a top 5 Vern player, right? Am I right?
Yeah. You hear the Mark Grace story talking about Greg Maddux getting all fired up on the mound is a can't miss.
Oh, I guess I'll have to check that one out. I thought I've seen every
Greg Maddux was erect after striking out the first 2 batters. He was walking around the mound, and Mark Grace is like, what's going on, man? Well, get up there, get back up on the hill. Let's finish off this inning. And he looked down and saw that Greg Maddux was really excited with how well he was performing.
Oh, my God.
On that note, Vern,
that is fantastic.
We appreciate it. Love the interview. As always, love you, brother, and we'll talk to you again next
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Take care,
Vern.
anytime.
I know that I'm hard.
I had never heard that story before.
2 strikeouts.
Craig Maddux
all right.
Yeah, the first 2 guys and got a Woody.
Oh, my.
But
I know that I'm hard. 100%.
When Maddux was with the Cubs, that was before he was Greg Maddux, right? That must have been one of his earlier years that were on, because he was traded from the Cubs to the Braves. And so that had to be one of the earlier years for Maddux, and he probably never had, that opportunity before.
What's going on, man? You all right? Yeah, really feel the moment. I think you're feeling it really well.
Tell. Yeah.
You're not wearing a cup, are you? That's great. Realignment in college football and the college football playoff. All that next here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jaden Candy, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Park and Go, they just make the airport parking experience so easy and so stress-free. And it all starts with making that reservation at bookparkandgo.com. When you make your flight reservation, immediately go to bookparkandgo.com and make your parking reservation. That way, it's all taken care of. Make sure you prepay, too. That's when you save the most money. Then you're done. You've got that all-covered parking spot reserved for you. You show up on the day of your flight, you move to that covered parking spot that's been reserved for you. As soon as you get there, the van comes, and it's right to the airport terminal. No waiting at all. And when you get back, we're all stressed after those flights, right? You just want to get home. Grab your bags, walk outside, jump on the bus, and it's right back to the trunk of your car. So join the Frequent Parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no 2 cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
City.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Babe, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health. Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow Service. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow. Northland, 169 Highway southbound. Heavy from 29 down to Briarcliff with construction and an accident reporting as well. Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident, call Jay's Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all, so be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
It is a loaded week of preseason football. Tons of games this week for all of you to enjoy. Starting Thursday night as preseason week 1 begins. Lions, Bengals, Packers, Steelers, Colts, Patriots, Chargers, Texans, Cardinals, Raiders, Titans, Niners, all on Thursday night. Friday, Broncos, Falcons, Bucks, Jets, Dolphins, Commanders. And then Saturday is loaded as well, including your Kansas City Chiefs, who play at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Mac, will you be going to that game?
I do not believe so. I will not be at that one.
I feel like that's a perfect way to for you to go to a game. Just 3 o'clock, get there at 2, leave by 4:30.
I'll be at most, I think I'm signed up for at least 5 or 6 of our games this year in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at most of them.
Love that.
Yes. And then I'll be at another one as a fan.
There you go.
Which one are you going to?
Chargers.
What
October,
day?
week 10.
October.
In your Herbert jersey?
Yeah. No, that's the only home game in October, and that's always what I try to go to. Home game in October is the perfect time to go to Arrowhead.
Is that
It's
a
the best.
nooner too? The
It's 3 o'clock, which in my opinion,
is fine.
in my opinion, that's perfect because I can get there at 9, and then I have 5 hours.
Yeah, good, because you're not riding on the bus to that game. I'll tell you that right now. You're out being a Charger fan and everything. Ralph ain't having you.
Not a
bro.
Charger fan. Not a Charger fan at all. Just think they're going to be good. Just an opinion. And that's fine. I don't necessarily want to get to a 3 o'clock game at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
I can get there at 9.
never do usually. Yeah, it's usually meet about 9 and get out there and go. Yeah. And I don't know that we're doing long tailgates for most of the games this year. I think we talked about it over the weekend.
Yeah.
We're like, maybe we'll do one big tailgate where you do get there, at 6 o'clock in the morning, but the rest of them are going to be, we always bring too much food. Nobody eats. Stand around and you're like, have some fun. And so, get there a little bit later, and that's fine as well. But Carrington doesn't get to go on the bus either because he's a Charger fan. Rob's trending that direction too.
It's 2-day.
Yeah,
Locked, cocked, and ready to rock.
The bus must have gone through the car wash because it looks washed. So realignment in college football. Are we going to do this again? Are we going to have a different league? Are they going to split this up? It's kind of interesting to see where the future of college football lies when it comes to divisions or it comes to conferences, whatever you want to call it. I think eventually we will get 2 divisions.
Well, I would. There's got to be a lot of realignment that needs to take place.
Not TWO.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of realignment that takes place, and everybody has a solution. Everybody looks for an answer. Everybody wants something that's going to be good for them. And somebody came up with a list of, teams that would be in a new college football type of situation. And they broke it down into 2 different divisions. They've got the Big Ten and they've got the SEC. They've got the Big Ten East, the Big Ten Central, the Big Ten West, and then you got the SEC East, Central, and West. And I don't necessarily hate this realignment at all. They've got Kansas and Kansas State making it in to the SEC West in a division that would include Baylor, Houston, SMU, A&M, Texas, TCU, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Colorado, Kansas, and Kansas State. That would be the SEC West for those scoring at home. Missouri would be in the SEC Central with Alabama, Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Vandy, Kentucky, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. That's a hell of a gauntlet right there. My God. I don't know that Missouri, Kansas, or Kansas State would ever win their divisions if it was broken down into something like this. But I think that's kind of where we're going to be heading in the future is having divisions. It's 6 divisions of 12 teams apiece that he has, and that gives you, 72 teams or whatever it is that's going to get you to that level, and that's kind of where it's going to be going forward in college football. I don't hate this idea. I like all ideas, and then we kind of figure out a way to do it, but this seems like a really good idea for college football to break it into these divisions.
I don't mind that because maybe I'm wrong here, and maybe you alluded to it, but you could also have if KU and Mizzou are both in the SEC, why not, right?
You play them all the time,
right? Then you can have that rivalry back. We can have the, maybe it's at Arrowhead Stadium, maybe it's every other year it alternates, but you could definitely do that and do that during rivalry week. I don't know if it'd be much of a game for the Jayhawks, but I think we are headed to this sort of way of college football because we've seen the playoff field expand. At first it was 4, then it's 8 and 12, and eventually it's going to be more. And the College Football Management Committee meets tomorrow to discuss, or I guess that'd be today, playoff expansion. Pat State investigates is hearing rumblings of a 20-team college football format idea with play-in games featuring each Power 4 conference replaces value of lost conference title game revenue. All the talk publicly has been 16 or 24, but this has been privately cooking for quite some time. This is happening. We are getting to this point into college football where they're going to have, instead of conference championship games, which cause so much. I'm sure, Matt, you did this your entire time in Tennessee. It just, they lost in the SEC championship game, but yet they were
such a
12 and whatever, but yet now they're going to play out of the playoffs because they didn't beat it. It just eventually, there's so much scrutiny that gets patched up by, renovations of the future of the way. And I think this is where we're going to eventually get. I'm not opposed to seeing, a 20-team playoff field, but 16 seems right. And I wouldn't be surprised if he got to 24.
Well, I like Josh Pate. He does a pretty good job covering college football. He's becoming one of the
best.
Yeah, like he's the voice now in college football, right? And I'm sure he's going to be featured a lot on College Game Day and places of that. And so if he's hearing something like that, he's pretty tied into what's going on out there. 20 seems weird at the forefront. Like that's just a weird number to have. But then you think about they're potentially, instead of those conference championship games, you're going to have play-in games as well, featuring each P4 conference. So that would be kind of cool. Each conference kind of having a play-in game, whether it's for your last team that gets in to the party or however you guys want to determine that. That's fine. But I think play-in games would be awesome for people. People would watch those, right?
Yeah, people. No, oh my gosh, people
right?
watch those in droves. I don't think they're ever going to have an issue with the ratings.
Now, people bitch about playing games in college basketball, though.
Well, I would bitch about it right here because it's the same thing. So now I'm the SEC championship game and I'm in a play-in game.
No. I don't think it would be. No. That it's in lieu of. You would take two teams.
But now instead
of no. It's not your top two teams. It's maybe your bottom two. That's the way I'm interprering it.
Okay.
Your bottom two teams for your last bid are fighting for a play-in game.
Yes.
Play-in game. That doesn't. You win your league. You're in. You're not playing to get in. A play-in games means the right to be in that tournament. Those are your bottom feeders that are playing, like the play-in games for college basketball. It's the last two teams.
Bottom feeders in this instance.
Well, you know,
very good teams.
Yeah, but your last two teams that are fighting maybe for a bid. It's not going to be your Alabamas and teams like that. It'll be like maybe Missouri and Ole Miss play in a play-in game, and the winner of that goes to the college football playoff, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it'd be like, for instance, let's say like Florida and Vanderbilt have good years. Not that I'm trying to, add salt to your wound of the Vanderbilt people. I'm just saying, you would assume that that'd be one of those fringe teams, and it's like, okay, winner of this gets to go play in the college football playoff, and then that team would then play like Georgia or Ohio State or something like that.
Yeah, they would get the right to go in and play.
As opposed to, like, let's say Tennessee plays, I don't know, Alabama in the SEC title game, but Tennessee loses, and all of a sudden it's like, well, you're not in the playoffs. What?
Yes.
I'd rather make the playoffs and lose that game than be like, oh, it's all or nothing. And I'm sure Missouri fans would go back to that and say, yeah, you remember that time in 2008 when we had to play Oklahoma? Yeah, this is what that is preventing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way you look at it. You're giving these teams an opportunity to have a play-in game to get in, and if you don't win that play-in game, then you don't get it. You don't punish teams that won their league and won their conference championship by having a play-in game with your top teams. You have it in with like KU and K-State potentially. They have a play-in game for the final Big 12 spot that gets awarded into this thing. That's kind of cool. You play those games on Saturday because there would be 4 of them, and you could have them all standalone games if you want, or a couple of them overlap. Who cares? And then you have your selection show on Sunday, and the winners of those playing games become the final bids for each of their conference, and then they get in that way. And I think that would be a lot of fun for people to see instead of wasting time with a conference championship game that tells you nothing and gives you nothing out of this thing. They would be more hotly contested, I would think, a play-in game than a conference championship game would be now.
And then get me relegation, and then I'm in.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now you're throwing some Cajun spice in there and making it a little bit
College football has the opportunity to do some glorious things. They
College
really
sports,
do.
Yeah.
They have an opportunity to change the whole game and do it in a cool way and do things that we've never – I don't want to hear, we've never done this before. We haven't seen this before. It's never been this way before. You're right. It's a good thing that college football has this, though. You get a blank canvas right now to change the entire game.
Yeah, also,
do it the right way.
Also, we've never seen it here in the United States, but the biggest and most popular sport in the world executes relegation very well, and it's very popular.
It's very popular.
It adds
People
drama.
love it. Yeah.
Yes. You only won 5 games of the Big 12. Now you got to go to the Little 12.
Yep.
Yeah, no, but I think every sport should have it. You want to? They talk about competitive balance in baseball all the time, and we got to get a salary. You know what's competitive balancing? Taking teams out of major leagues and taking TV contracts away from these owners. That's the way you do it. Relegate these teams.
Would be awesome. Would be great. Coming up next, what the Chiefs can learn from the Buffalo Bills. That's a weird sentence to say out loud here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Kansas City, it's Omar Norman Lott. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends at Window World, they're going to come out and they're going to give you the best replacement windows you can have. And I know from firsthand experience because we have over 30 replacement windows from my friends over at Window World. And with Window World, they're one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. And they're the only window that's the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs and the official window of the Fescoe household as well. Window World windows are perfect. They are so strong and they are so durable. In fact, they'll even stand on the window to show you how durable they are when you have that free in-home estimate. And when we needed windows about 6-7 years ago, whatever it was, 6-7, we decided Window World was the only call that we were going to make. And they have a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. So when your dog runs through the screen door like us, Window World comes out and they're able to fix it. So get that free in-home estimate on the books right now. Give them a call at 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. That's 1-800-GET-WINDOWS or at windowskansascity.com. 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. It's Window World.
You know your age, your weight, your income, and probably even the mileage on your car. But what's your testosterone level, and is that level normal for your age? If you don't know the answer, Low T Center can help, and we'll do it for free. Come take a free testosterone test and find out if Low T Center can help invigorate your life like it has for thousands of other men in Kansas City. Go to fixmylowt.com and book an appointment today. That's fixmylowt.com for your free T-test today.
Hey, it's the Lawman giving you a couple updates. Just settled a case for $1.175 million on a commercial vehicle accident, $750,000 on a motorcycle accident, $557,500 on a premise liability case. Call the Lawman. If you've been charged with a felony DWI, call the Lawman. You only got a short window to get the admin filed in Missouri and in Kansas. Call me now.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It shouldn't be based solely on advertisement.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
When it's time for a new water heater, trust the team that's been serving Kansas City for 75 years. For a limited time, buy a water heater and get a water filter 50% off. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Northland 169 Highway southbound, briefly sluggish approaching Briarcliff. Earlier accident has cleared, but construction remains. Hot water is something you rely on every day for showers, dishes, laundry, and more. If your water heater is showing signs of age or struggling to keep up, now is the time to make the switch. At Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, they've been helping Kansas City homeowners stay comfortable for 75 years with trusted service and expert installations. For a limited time, buy a water heater and get a water filter 50% off. Schedule your appointment today at AnthonyPHCE.com. Alan Korn, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got it covered.
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts. Back at it on a Monday. It's Mac Morey, Bob Fescoe, and Dusty Likens with you. It's a tough one to say, apparently. 3816, Fescoe and Dusty. Yes. You heard that.
We got 96.5 The Fan.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, they can. 96.5 The Fan. And yes, R.I.P. to Donnie Nelson, man. A legend. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Second winningest coach all time.
And had his own strand of weed.
He
named
did.
after Nelly Kush, for those of you that didn't know that random stat of the day.
Hell of a coach, man. Damn. They don't have coaches like this. We don't have these crusty old lifers anymore that are Don Nelson type coaches, right? We're not going to see another Andy Reid, another Billy Martin, Jim Leland, those type of guys. Those guys don't exist anymore. Don Nelson was one of those guys.
Sean Payton keeps going. He'll get to Andy Reid's age.
He will, but I don't think he'll ever be that crusty guy.
Like you mean
Don,
aesthetically.
Yeah, like Don Nelson's hair was yellow from cigarette smoke, right?
Gotcha,
Like that's how much. Like that guy used to burn darts on the sidelines, and Jim Leland used to smoke Reds in his underwear. Like you don't have that kind of stuff anymore. That crusty guy just doesn't exist. We're too damn healthy anymore.
We know too much.
That is true. We we know Andy Reid gets here at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
He's writing plays on napkins. Back in the day, it was just like, what'd you do last night? None of your damn business, eh?
Yeah, I saw a video of Tiger Woods' old caddy. Can't remember his name, but you guys would know, obviously, using cigarette
Fluff.
smoke.
Yeah,
Fluff.
Yeah, that guy was awesome.
Showing Tiger where the wind was.
Yeah, with the smoke, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, he was an old school, like John Daly's of the world. Like, you don't have that guy anymore. I was telling Dusty before the show, I said, I miss the days where when I was covering baseball on a daily basis and going out there every day, I'd go into the locker room and Leland be sitting there in his underwear smoking cigarettes, telling Barry Bonds stories. Lou Piniella be doing the same exact thing, telling stories about Ken Griffey Jr. or whatever the hell it was. Like, you just don't have that old crusty guy anymore that is around. Like, who are the legendary managers now in Major League Baseball? Can you even name the managers in Major League Baseball today? They're nameless, faceless type guys. I mean, they really are. Back in the day, these guys were legends.
Somebody says, speak for yourself, Bob. I'm driving right now eating a slice of pizza. Pizza. Oh, boy. Chiefs back at practice today. Cody and Alex will be out there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So loaded week in St. Joe for
Eric
Cody
Bieniemy's
and
back.
Gold. And
he is
back? That is the report from camp.
Good.
Alex and Cody will have today on their show Emmett Johnson. So I'm
Nice.
sure you'll be tuned into that. That's your camp darling.
That's
your,
my guy.
That's your draft crush.
I'm excited to watch him play, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be kind of interesting to hear what they have to say. And then, yes, reports from camp is that Eric Bieniemy is back in attendance. So,
and that's good news that his wife is doing much better as well, right? I mean, that's the way that I take it. She's doing better. She probably said to him, all right, get out of here. Go back to training camp. I'm going to be okay. So that's the good news, that he was able to leave because she's doing great.
Yeah, he's seen walking down the hill and acknowledging the fan base as he has a piece of paper in hand and ready to just cuss the first guy out that doesn't hustle in practice. So good to have that back. Good to know that his family is doing fine, or his wife is doing fine, as well as we would assume that if he's in St. Joe, that things have gotten a little bit more clear with her, which is the biggest positive out of all of that when it comes to Eric Bieniemy. But thinking of something that's not a positive, boy, oh boy, did the Buffalo Bills' new stadium get ran amok this weekend. I mean, it's not often anymore that you see something get ratioed. And for those of you that are under the dim light of what ratio means, that you make a post with something, whether it's a caption, whether it's a tweet, whatever, and more people are commenting on it than they are liking it, right? Which means there's something murky there. And that was the new Buffalo Bills stadium. Positive, they have a 100-foot table that's broken in their stadium facility. We saw when they did the renderings, like how they're going to have all these like new inventions in the stadium, like whirlpools, stuff like that. And then you see this weekend, all this Bills social media come out, and there's just like obstructed views. There's like glass barricades there. There's chairs that don't make noise. And it just seems like when you did something like this is what's so interesting, right? Like it's just, there are little things that you must like pay attention to. And it seems like these things got excluded from a small video board to heavy winds still affecting the gameplay. Like, what's Josh Allen's excuse going to be now? And things like that. When it comes to this stadium, not a lot of happy fans when all this money is paid for a stadium, and then there's like all of these things. Now, again, we always have these sort of things happen to us. You might build a house, and then all of a sudden you move into the house, like, oh, this door for some reason shouldn't be like this. I didn't really think about that, but this is pretty interesting to see how the people of Buffalo reacted to these stadium picks that came out.
Well, you have all your bells and whistles in these new stadiums, but you didn't do the basics the right way. And that's having seats that you're charging an arm and a leg for. I'm sure there's a PSL that's applied to every one of these as well. And you've got seats with obstructed views where the railing's in the way, the walkways are in the way, the stadium itself is in the way. It's not covered as much as they said it was going to be covered. And so these are all good life lessons that Clark and Mark Donovan and everybody else that's in charge of kind of building the stadium now for the Chiefs as we've got the next steps going. We've got to make sure, and I think the Chiefs will, that they don't do anything like what's going on in Buffalo because, as we all know, no matter where you sit in Arrowhead, you got a great view of the field. There's no obstructed views at Arrowhead Stadium whatsoever. And that's amazing for a stadium that was built at the end of the 60s and opened in the early 70s, that there were sight lines everywhere. And so that's the expectation now that fans have here in Kansas City. And then this Buffalo test run is a great test run for us to make sure that we do not make those same mistakes. Because today, quite honestly, the stadium committee, whoever's on that, I'm sure Mark and company, they're all probably sitting around going, did you see what happened in Buffalo? We got to make sure that we don't have these things happen in our stadium. They seem so like elementary. Don't have obstructed view seats in a $3 billion stadium. Why is that so hard to do?
Rumors are that the first giveaway is a shovel for a future game.
Yeah, I know fans will probably be upset about how only, looks like 20% of the stadium's actually covered, and it was really windy on field level, but as just a football fan, very excited about that. Looks like Buffalo will remain kind of an outdoor venue with that sort of vibe. So I kind of like that from just my perspective, but I get why you were kind of sold a bag of goods, and it didn't come true. I will say that on the 100 level,
if you're a fan and you're paying for a PSL, let's say in the upper deck, and you're told, no matter where you sit, you're going to be covered most of the time. You get there and it's not. Wait a second. Maybe that was the reason you paid for that ticket.
Like, I don't want to deal with the weather. You told me I would be covered, and I'm not. Most of the stadium isn't. They do on 100 level have like this big, like, broken table.
Right,
like,
we talked about that last week.
Yes, I love that they have that. I think that's fantastic.
You can have that, but you can't have obstructed view seats. No. Like, you thought about some of the cool stuff, but the basics of the stadium, you failed.
Yep.
You failed. You can't be building, and I'm talking to Populous now too, guys. You got to do better. That's on them. You got to do better than that. To have obstructed view seats, come on, Populous. You're one of the greatest out there, the best of all time. Figure out a way to not make seats with obstructed views like that. That's a major fail on Populous's part too. I mean, we can sit here and make fun of the Bills all day, but somebody designed that stadium and gave the okay.
Mm-hmm. Video boards are small, prevalence of obstructed view seats, traffic in and out of stadium, coverage for rain not expansive as thought, and wind felt strongly at field level.
Yeah.
Two of the last 5 things were things that Mac had mentioned earlier. We talked about this, that were promises that would be fixed.
Yeah, that would be annoying as a fan.
Yeah,
and I don't mind the TVs as much as most people do.
Oh, I do, because we get spoiled, and this is just, rich people problems, right? We're all like that when it comes to sporting events. You go to a venue and it doesn't have a big enough screen, you notice that right away. So if you're cheaping on the scoreboards, that's a bad look too. Make them big enough, man. People that got all these comforts at their home, you better give them a reason to go to the game, and sitting somebody in front of a guardrail or concrete
BS.
is just not going to get people there.
No, that is
I'd
BS.
be demanding a refund today if I were these folks.
Me too. Yeah, the screen, I think you can find a happy medium. Like, I don't know if you've been to Jerry World. Way too big. Way too big. So there is too big.
Yes and no, because then
I was watching TV the whole game.
I know you do.
I was watching TV the whole game.
Yeah, like Josh went there in 2012 when Kansas played Michigan in the final Elite Eight, whatever it was, and they were sitting courtside back in those days. And he's like, I didn't watch the game at all. I looked up the entire time at the video board, and I've been there one time, I think, to Jerry World. I think it's only been one time, and it was the World Cup in like 2012 or something like that. We were down in Dallas and watched the game there, Team USA. And they sold out like the upper deck, and everybody watched on the video board.
Yeah.
And it was, it was cool. It was different. It was, interesting but you find yourself looking at that video board the entire time. But, up until this year, if you went to a game at Camden Yards and you looked at their video board out there, it looked like one of these small TVs in the station, right? So you've got to find a way to get that happy medium where maybe it's not Jerry World, but it wasn't what Camden Yards was originally. You've got to have a big enough video board for people to see the replays on, too.
On Chiefs training camp, obviously Cody and Gold will be down there in St. Joe. Third day of no practice for Trey Smith.
Yeah, hip thing.
At some point, that starts to get
well, yes, it does.
Concerning.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because they said it wasn't concerning 2 days ago.
Yep.
Miss a practice, fine, not concerning. Now it's 3 in a row. Yeah, that becomes concerning a little bit.
Also, Eric Bieniemy back at camp as well for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Emmett Johnson will sit down with Cody and Gold after practice today as they're up there from St. Joe Monday through Thursday from 10 until 2. John Sherman sat down with Josh Vernier. You can hear the full interview on Cody and Gold Show, plus the drive. We've got a couple of cuts that we want to play and kind of talk about that as well, plus some Hall of Fame talk about Vinatieri and Drew Brees here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Kyra Stonga, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 do some amazing things here in Kansas City, right? And at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2, their mission is to build strong partnerships between our members, our business partners, our customers, and community. And there's zero cost to become a partner contractor with the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. So if you're an architectural sheet metal contractor, they'll provide flexible workforce options for your project demands, timelines, and economic conditions. And when you partner with us, you're connected to elite craftsmanship. Our members install metal roofing, siding, and decorative features on our region's most landmark buildings, like the top of Bartle Hall, the Kauffman Performing Arts Center, and of course that iconic crown out at Kauffman Stadium. They provide manpower specifically for the architectural sheet metal community. And there's no downside. It's completely free with zero obligation. Just straightforward information on how they can help grow your business and profit margins. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. We're an old union with a new perspective on business. Learn more at sheetmetal2.org.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale of the year is back. The Tires at Cost sale. That's right. You pay what we pay, plus mounting and balancing for only $30 per tire. Reserve yours at TELLEtire.com. Take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at QC Kinetics want to help you feel better. And when your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like that's the only option out there. But I want you to do your homework. Remember, once a joint's replaced, there's no going back. So before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients right here in Kansas City. They concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right into the spot that's actually causing the pain. And the whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before you make a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation, totally free. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Sometimes historic events suck. But what shouldn't suck is learning about history. I do that through storytelling. History That Doesn't Suck is a chart-topping history-telling podcast, chronicling the epic story of America, decade by decade, from the 18th century to the 20th. Original music and immersive sound design accompany us on our storytelling journey. Listen to and follow History That Doesn't Suck, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
Today, expect a high of 97 with a chance of slight showers, becoming mostly sunny later.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Happy National Lazy Day.
Very good day for that around here with this weather. It looks like you just want to crawl back into bed, right?
Oh, yeah. Is it a nap Monday, McMorey?
Yeah. Yep, still figuring out sleeping.
I was going to say, coming back from Hawaii and probably didn't sleep much while you're on vacation or on your honeymoon.
Nope.
You definitely didn't sleep Saturday night of your wedding.
I've been pounded this week.
TMI. But to those that have just now joined us at 9:19 in the morning, Eric Bieniemy is back at camp. Trey Smith missing his third practice in a row with the hip injury. I was just telling Mac, like during the break, like I feel like, and he did kind of reassure me this, but am I the only one here? And if it's hyperbolic, let me know. Is this like the most significant injury-prone like camps we've seen? Because for those of you that want to know, Isaiah Pacheco did mess up his MCL, as Dan Campbell said that he will miss some time but should be ready for the regular season as he sprained his MCL. Plus, their center, Cade Mays, suffered a wrist injury that will now result in him missing a significant amount of time.
Good luck with that season.
Luther Burden, hamstring injury, Trey Smith, Mansour Delane, Achilles injuries have happened. We've seen guys step on the field for the first time of training camp and blow their ACL. And I know this happens a lot in the NFL season, but it just seems the names that are appearing on these lists over and over again, it's like, oh, yeah, you know him. That would mean that is something significant. And the Lions suffer 2 injuries today to their center, who has a wrist injury that could miss significant time, and Isaiah Pacheco, the backup to Jahmyr Gibbs, where, I don't know, maybe Pacheco wasn't going to play a whole lot, but I'm sure that they would still like to have him, 5 to 6 runs a game to kind of give Gibbs that breather. As they have said, Dan Campbell, they're going to really ramp up Jahmyr Gibbs this season in the football world.
It's interesting for me because we've got preseason, and I always wonder how many of these injuries would be talked about if it was the regular season, right? Like, how many of these injuries are we even noticing if it's the regular season, or how many of these injuries are we even, the team even knows about? Like, if the regular season, is Trey Smith practicing? Is this because of precautionary stuff? But 3 days in a row is a long time now for precautionary stuff, right? So we'll have to find out what's going on there with Trey Smith. But that's one you have to question now about injury type stuff, because 3 days in a row he's not been out there on the practice field. So you want to you want to look at that. The same thing, like Cyrus Allen got injured the other day. Maybe he plays on Sunday if there's a game, if that's the regular season, if something like that happens. So I always think about it being preseason and how many of these are real injuries, or how many of these are, let's just be cautious and not worry about it. It's the preseason. But if this is the regular season, would he play if there was a regular season game, is the question that people love to ask, right? And the coach will either say yes or no, and then you can kind of know how severe that injury is. Or Andy will just say, we just don't know. It's not the regular season, so we don't have to make that determination yet, is probably what he'll say about Trey Smith. But that's really usually how you tell if it's a serious injury or if it's a training camp injury. But of everything now with the Chiefs, the Trey Smith one has me probably concerned the most at this point in time.
And not that's in Kansas City, but something that is concerning due to a high-profile quarterback in Jaden Daniels. His left tackle gone for the season with a tricep injury.
I mean, every time I hear of a tricep injury,
that'll make you want to cringe.
Oh, my God. That or the torn pec.
Yeah, torn
I
pec.
mean, think about that, man.
Nothing.
I mean, just think about it. You tear your...
Ow.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks. I was already really low on the Commanders, but that just kind of sells it for me.
I'm totally
I'm
out
on them.
Yeah, that's the last place in that division.
Dan Quinn, see you later. He could be first coach fired candidate. Jaden Daniels will get a lot of probably unjustified question marks thrown his way.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them justified.
We'll see how he plays. Maybe his mom will be the next coach.
Oh, God. She's got, the quarterback did well for her PR, but still it is a little bit weird.
I thought they stayed away from that story very well. Like, they didn't talk about how his mom's involved in every damn thing that he's doing.
It was. I thought some of it was good, like actually showing that she is like a certified agent. She's been a businesswoman before. She's done like actual jobs in the work field and being an agent. So it made me a little bit more realize her legitimacy. With Trey Smith, though, when we talk about running the football, I mean, Trey Smith's going to be vital as far as that's concerned. He's one of the most athletic linemen in the league. He gets to the second level. He destroys linebackers. That is something that he loves to do. He's violent. He sets the tone. They kind of need him.
Well, let's think about it. When you're run blocking and that first step is forward, what are you using? You're pushing off with your hips. And so the hips got to be good. Yep. And it can't be something that we're messing around with. And so if there's something that's not right now, let's make sure we rest and make sure it's ready to go for the opening, game this year on the 14th. We're still a month away. So we've got some time. But 3 in a row is...
I think the other thing that goes to the Trey Smith thing, too, is what does Ken Walker do so well? Runs between the guards. And that's a top 5 right guard in the NFL?
I would say so.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think so, yeah.
This comes from Pete Sweeney. Christian Fulton, Ashton Gelati, and Xavier Worthy all returning to practice today. Omar Norman Lott on the pup. Trey Smith, LeJerry Sneed, Drew Tranquil remain out of practice. Mansour Delane still has his yellow non-contact jersey on.
And I would expect that to happen for a while now with Mansour Delane. I wouldn't think that they're going to probably throw him into any contact before they need to. And, when do you need to? Probably the 14th of September is when you really need it. You'd like to see it a little bit earlier, but if you can make it to then without having to do that to make sure that he's ready to go for that first game of the season, then that's probably what they're going to do. But every team deals with these injuries. Every team, there's nobody that's absolved from this. Every team is having these exact same
Rather have them now.
conversation. Yeah, of course. I mean, every team's having these conversations right now about their injuries, and teams, just about every team will lose somebody that you're probably counting on in training camp. It happens.
Also, the Eric Bieniemy being back, reported by multiple people there. Then Sam McDowell quotes Pete Sweeney's tweet and say, evidence by both sight and sound that Eric Bieniemy is back. But earlier today, we played you the interview of Vern sitting down with John Sherman, and he said this about what 2027 could and will be.
Certainly seems as if it's fair to say you're not interested in any sort of reset. Obviously not rebuild, taking any sort of a step back to take 2 forward.
Well, we think about it. We talk about it. We challenge ourselves. I mean, I challenged JJ to think about that. What can we get for these guys? What could we do? And the analysis was that was we're taking a risk that may or may not work out, and it was setting us back. And I think the belief in our core and in the ability to go invest and make sure that we have a rotation that can keep us in games, and, of course, rebuilding the bullpen to make sure we can close games out. We were talking about, you sit up here at a game like last night, right? And you think about 14-15. You get to the sixth inning, and it changes the way you play the game, right? Because any way you can get ahead by the sixth inning, you kind of wrap this thing up. So the players think about it differently. They're more urgent. We'll bunt. We'll run the bases, play good defense. And I'm not saying we're going to find an HDH, but you got to get back to having that bullpen that can close games out.
So you need starting pitching in a bullpen. That's a lot to ask to go into next season and expect to contend.
Yeah, I think there are two things. The bullpen, a disaster this year, maybe one of the worst that baseball has ever seen. And also, it is tough that it's kind of like it was fun, but you're also a victim, right? Like, we do this with the Chiefs offense. Like, man, that Chiefs offense has never been the same since. Well, since when? Travis Kelce was in his prime as one of the greatest tight ends to ever touch the field. Tyreek Hill was in his prime. Patrick Mahomes was in his youth. And nobody had really seen what the Chiefs were doing at that time when they were able to just kind of, Sammy Watkins was on that team. And you always go back to those types of things. Kind of like we always go back to, man, that bullpen was so great when it was HDH. Well, that was a once in a generational type of bullpen. So
12 years ago now, too.
You may never have that again, but you have to have some sort of sustainability. And we know that bullpen arms have been something that maybe it was what HDH started. Like, man, it's really nice because what do we see all the time now? The number 100 for pitchers at start. Once they get close to that number, they're out. Well, by the time the sixth inning gets there, it doesn't matter if Skeens or Mizorowski pitch because if you don't have a bullpen, it doesn't matter. And, yes, you need somebody in that bullpen that can shut the door. They don't have that. The door just stays wide open, whether it's Urseg, whether it was Strahm, who got DFA'd, whoever it may have been, and Carlos Estevez, who wasn't healthy going back to February 26th when we talked to Vern about it, saying the velocity's down, and they bring him out there game one, and it's like, all right, we never saw him again. So, yes, that's there, but also you do need starting pitching because I think that we can all agree that we're kind of off the train of Cole Reagans being your ace because you just haven't had the proof out there to see him continue to do that. Maybe he is somebody that becomes a bullpen arm in the future. I don't know why that's a bad idea. If he's going to come back and he's going to revamp, you've got somebody that can throw 98 out of your bullpen and not have to tax his arm for the whole season. Maybe it's one of those Zach Greinke type of things where the bullpen kind of resurrects his career and then becomes a starter. But you're going to miss Kolek basically all year. Avila is not going to be there. Reagans isn't even going to be throwing baseballs or at a competitive level till at least post All-Star game. So you do have to go out and get starting pitching. You do have to go out and get bullpen arms, and it's not going to be cheap.
We're not. We can. Giving up those pitchers for prospects that may or may not turn out down the road with the kind of nucleus we have. We think we want to be more urgent than that. And again, back to our division. You talked about Cleveland and others. This thing's tight. We had some bad breaks this year. We didn't execute well as well. But, we would expect to be in the hunt next year. But, look, we got a lot of work to do. I'm not predicting anything. I think the proof will be in the pudding. And we got a lot of work to do as soon as this thing's over in October.
I think there's a lot of they think they're better than they are. There's a lot of misguidance right now going into next season, I think, for this team. And I don't think they're as good as they believe that they are. Your pitchers are going to be older next year. 24 is a distant memory from now. You have an entire bullpen that you need to rebuild. You need 3 starting pitchers for this team, potentially. I think there's a lot of fool's gold right now being kind of talked about in this organization. I think they believe that they're in better shape than what the reality of the situation is. And when you hear John talk about having to rebuild the bullpen and go out and spend and get a couple of starting pitchers, that's money, that's resources, that's a lot of work that needs to be put in during the offseason, of which you're only going to have a month until the lockout comes. So, I think there's a lot of false security right now out at the Royals that they think that they're better than they are. When I look at it, I go, you guys got a lot of work to do, man. You got to rebuild an entire bullpen, the owner said, and get 2 starting pitchers. It's a lot of work to do in 1 month of an offseason this year.
I think the other thing that's important with hearing that is that they were 18th in spending in baseball, and I know Vern brought it up in the interview that you'll hear later today on Cody and Gold show in its entirety, is that there's several teams that are doing very well this year not spending. And it goes back to what you say. It's their farm system. We talk about the Twins, who are, one game above the Tigers, which is wild. In the wild card standings, the Twins are actually below them now, and the Tigers are one game out after trading Tarek Skubal. Now, again, they've hit a run. The AL Central has been piss poor this year, and you've got teams that are sub 500 that are a game out of the division, but that's a missed opportunity. Yes, the injuries piled up. Yes, the injuries hurt, but you were bad before the injuries started this year. It is vital that you get off to a good start in April and June, and May is at that. And by June 1st, we had the conversation like the season's cooked. It's over. Like you can't get back into that. And Sherman realized that we have to move on to 2027. We have to bring these guys back. Is it anybody's concern that in that entire interview there was not one thing about the current manager?
Interesting. I think so. I think that's very interesting.
And I'm not reading too much into that, but I would have figured that there would have been something brought up, but it was more so front office. It was more so all of this. So whether that is, and again, I don't think, and I'll go on the record, I don't think anybody that is manager, GM, anything like that, I don't think anybody's getting fired. There might be other people on this roster that may not be here in 2027, but it is kind of just, I guess the right word is interesting that there is no conversation in that interview about Megatron.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think if you're a fan right now and you hear changes, you think manager and general manager, right? That's all you ever think about, maybe a hitting coach in May or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to be interested to see how fans react to see what kind of change does happen with this organization in the offseason, because they talk about competitive balance. They talk about, the minor leagues and all this stuff throughout the interview. But like the worst thing for the Royals is have the Brewers at 30 games over 500. They're 74-44 with a payroll that's less than what the Kansas City Royals are spending, on their payroll right now. The Twins are having a decent enough year after selling off everybody from a season ago. The Washington Nationals are 59-61. Their payroll's $95 million. The White Sox, $93 million, 61-56. You look at the Tampa Bay Rays, $93 million, 71-46. Miami Marlins, $76 million, worst payroll in baseball, 60-59. And so a lot of these teams, competitive balance people talk about all the time because of the Dodgers, but a lot of your teams that are winning are your mid-market teams right now. The Royals' biggest problem is they're trying to fight a two-front war in baseball, and when you fight a two-front war, it doesn't work. You can't rebuild the minors and win at the big league level at the same time. It's very hard to do that. You have to commit to one way or the other, and I still think by not trading Seth Lugo, you made a big error this trade deadline if you're the Royals, to try to get more guys in there to move this thing forward, because if you're rebuilding the bullpen and you need starting pitching for next year, that doesn't scream, yay, we're going to be a successful ball club.
I started to laugh the first time you said it, because sometimes it's tough to see through the smoke with all this interview stuff. I mean, it's wordy answers, it's long. You start to really kind of make it too confusing and too muddled in your brain. And when you said it, so we need a bullpen and we need two starting pitchers. Okay, that's really tough. It'd be like if you're looking at the Chiefs and go, well, the offensive line sucks and they need a quarterback. It'd be like, okay, well, we're going to be bad. This is going to be a rough football team.
Right.
So I think it'd be similar to the baseball aspect of it. I think you mentioned Lugo trading. I mean, we've talked about it. Trading someone who hurts. I don't know if that's Bobby Witt Jr., I don't know if that's your guy, Jack Caglione, but trading someone who the fan base will be really hurt by and you will get criticism for, that's what it takes to be a general manager in any major sport.
It does. I mean, think about the biggest trades that we've seen in Kansas City sports history, just in recent vintage, from 2010 to where we are now. Zach Greinke, Will Myers, Tyreek Hill. Like, those are three big name players that were part of this city and part of these teams that people wanted. And all three of those trades led to the organizations winning championships. It's the trades you make that hurt. It's the big name players that you get rid of that help you move forward as an organization. And the Royals are basically stuck in quicksand. I mean, they're not going one way or the other. They're just in a malaise right now. And that's not exciting. That's not interesting for me.
Yeah, I think the only one that out of those three that really hurt a totality of the fan base would have probably been Will Myers, because he was the number one prospect in your system. You never got to see him play at the big league level. You obviously trade him and get a haul back. Greinke kind of like got himself out of town. Obviously there was the quote in the Star. I'll never forget that. And then Tyreek was like, well, it's football. We're not going to pay. We have Patrick Mahomes in his prime. you have Bobby Witt Jr. in his prime, but you don't have anybody that really can support him outside of Jack Caglione. Now, trading him would be a mistake because of the control that you would have. But again, to your point, Mac, that you're making, like that would be one of those things that would have this city be like, really? This guy that's hitting bombs and all this sort of stuff? But
you'll get returned back.
The thing that I think they need to do to have a comparison of the two teams in the town is what we said Andy Reid needs to do: take the papers on the desk and wipe them off and restart a new thing. What they need to do is maybe take the analytics of the sport that they go too much into and wipe those off and go back to like maybe what can be a better foundation to build a team on. Like instead of worrying about lefties and righties and matchups, why don't you just put the best players out there and see what happens? Because we've seen nothing but Jack Caglione thrive playing first base and hitting third in this lineup.
And I hate to be this way, but we told you so. Like, we were right. The fan base was right on this. The organization was wrong on the way that they handled Jack Caglione. 100% wrong. The fans were right. The organization messed that up. Think about if he was playing every day, man. Maybe the record is different. I don't know the answer to that question, but they messed it up at the beginning of the year. And I think that's where fans are, too. It's like, yeah, the players aren't there, but are you guys going to make the right decisions? Because a lot of decisions that were made this year were not right, including the Estevez thing at the beginning of the year. Never should have been on the mound in Atlanta.
And who knows if Jack runs into one off sale, what that does for the rest of the season, what that does for the game. I'm just saying that could have happened. It just didn't get the opportunity to.
Right.
Drew Brees had an opportunity to speak at the Hall of Fame this week, and he thanked New Orleans, and I thought it was really great what he said in the minute and 9 seconds.
New Orleans has been through a lot, to the point where in some cases the feeling was we may have lost everything. It may never come back the same. Storms teach us that our greatest treasures aren't the things that we own. They're the people we love and the way we show up for one another. It reminds us to hold our loved ones a little closer, to love a little harder, to laugh a little louder, and to never take a single day for granted. Sometimes it takes losing what can be replaced to truly appreciate the things that can't. New Orleans, you accepted me, you embraced me, you believed in me, but more importantly, you trusted me with the soul of the city, and I would have died to protect that calling.
So I don't know about you guys, but some hair stuck up on the back of my neck. Because, I mean, that is true, man. Like, Drew Brees has the shoulder injury, and the Chargers are like, all right, this is our time to get out. Imagine being a Chargers fan, watching that quarterback inducted into the Hall of Fame, talking about like that with New Orleans, kind of comparing the Katrina episode, right? What happened to the Superdome at the time? The roof is taken off. People are, staying there for homes and housing. And then there's Drew Brees, right, whose shoulder's injured, and a team that, probably could have prevailed for many, many years with him move on. And the Saints, prevail with the camaraderie of the city and the state of all that. And what a speech that was by Drew Brees,
I'm choked up now just even listening to it again, because I have a love affair for New Orleans and how wonderful a city and people they really are down there. One of the things that a couple of the things that I took away from the Drew Brees thing, the fact that him and his family would walk home once a week together through the neighborhood that wasn't exactly the safest to show his love for that city. I thought that was special, man. He's like, we're going to walk home, and I don't care. And it shows the way that people love him, because like he basically got celebrated for 10 years walking home, from practice and the game or wherever they were playing at that point in time through the neighborhood to get to his house. So I thought that was kind of cool. And what I also thought was kind of cool, and this is just cheesy Bob here for a second, his neighbors and him, every Monday night they had red beans and rice together. And he goes, that kind of welcomed us into the neighborhood. And now it's become a tradition. I mean, I just think from the neighbor's perspective, how cool is that? Your neighbor's Drew Brees, he's coming over Monday night for red beans and rice, That's awesome.
Amazing.
Now, where he lives in New Orleans is like where all the richy rich live, right? Like all the actors and everybody who moves down there, and the Mannings and all this like unbelievable area of town. And it's probably somebody that can buy and sell Drew Brees. But even still, that's the Southern hospitality that he was talking about that got that team over and enabled them to go out there and win a championship.
Again, Trey Smith still out at camp. Eric Bieniemy back. Khalil Benson will play right guard. Jalen Moore will play right tackle. So another big step for the undrafted free agent out of Louisville, Mr. Benson. Coming up, we get into our brioche of the weekend here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Marcel Delane, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have done such a marvelous job on our front lawn. We're letting them do everything else, like pest control. Yeah, that's awesome, too, because we had a couple of mice down in the basement. So we called Aspen, and we're like, hey, you got anything to help with the mice? They go, absolutely. They came out. They put these little boxes outside. We haven't had a mouse since. It's been awesome. The pest control side of things from Aspen Lawn and Pest Control is fantastic, including that mosquito dome that we have over our yard to keep all the mosquitoes out, to keep the fleas out, to keep the ticks out, to keep that yard safe for us and for our dog as well. We absolutely love our relationship with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. And we love the lawn, too, because they took a blank space and turned it into a beautiful lawn. The college-educated professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control get the job done right the first time. So right now, they're looking for you. Hey, get that mosquito dome up for the rest of summer and early fall. Be that backyard you want it to be, the place where you guys can sit and enjoy the day. Call my friends at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the three contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
Man, I should not have tried to handle this car wreck stuff myself.
Why?
Insurance keeps calling. I gotta find a body shop, rental car, doctor's appointments. Now they're asking for a bunch of other things.
Dude, why are you trying to do this yourself?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
That's literally what they do. You worry about getting better. They deal with the insurance, the paperwork, the calls, all of it.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
Running a business shouldn't feel like a juggling act. One app for accounting, another for inventory, one more for sales, and somehow they never work together. Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated platform with all the business applications you need. CRM, inventory, accounting, marketing, and more. All working together seamlessly. Stop juggling software and get back to growing your business. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
From
backyard barbecues to homegrown herbs, the best parts of summer start at Lowe's. Right now, get 3 Ferry Morse 1.3 quart vegetables and herbs for just $12. Plus, get 4 bags of Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil for only $10. Whether you're planting something new or giving your garden a refresh, now's the time to make the most of your outdoor space. Save more on what you need this summer at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Brioche of the weekend.
Big brioche guy.
Love that. Yeah, good take.
Back at it, Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey on a Monday. Glad to have you. Eric Bieniemy back, Xavier Worthy back, Trey Smith out still, Delane still out. As Khalil Benson will play right guard today in practice, and Jalen Moore will play right tackle. Mac, you got a brioche of the weekend?
Yeah, dude, being back home, got to see my besties, my best friends for the first time since the wedding. It was great. We debriefed, we talked, we hung out, we went to a batting simulator.
Oh, how was it? Did you get hit against Rivera?
I did not. We'll go to a cage next time. It was really fun. Great spot. We'll go there again. But yeah, I just want to hit with real baseball. I want to see what a 90 or 80, however fast it'll go in an actual cage. They gave us bats, but the baseballs are like soft or whatever. The simulator was kind of lagging, so the pitch would happen, and then like 2 seconds would happen, and then the ball would come out. So you're kind of waiting for that.
Oh,
so
that sucks. So your timing's
off. Way
off.
off. Yeah. So there's some problems there. Not that I would have been hitting bombs anyways, but yeah. So we'll probably try something different next time. But yeah, then I went back to my place, hung out. Had some drinks, had some Surfsides. It was fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good weekend.
Yeah.
We went on Saturday morning up to Cameron for a charity golf tournament. My friend Jeff Miles puts it on every year for the Ronald McDonald House, and so he had 2 flights of that going on up there in Cameron. Awesome people up there raising some good money for the Ronald McDonald House. And we went out on the boat and had some time with Ralph and just went out to Perry Lake for the afternoon on Saturday, so that was perfect as well, just kind of sitting out there. I love being out on the water, any kind of water, when the sun's going down. It's like late afternoon, early evening. You know,
it's awesome. It looks like glass.
Yeah, there's just no better time, temperature-wise, weather-wise, and so it was just one of those kind of relaxing type of weekends, man.
Eric Bieniemy right back at it as Ron Kopp Jr. out there putting a video up of K9 versus Bolton and Pass. EB coaching up the lead back afterwards, showing him how to get in, that ass.
Yes.
No, brioche of the weekend for me was great. Sent 38 out with a bang. In 39 comes, so now I got to figure out what I need to do before I turn 40 that it's still acceptable that you can do in your 30s. Had some Surfside people. We went out to the game on Friday to watch the Cubs and Royals. Shout out to Emily and Marge, as Marge brought me out to the main concourse and sang happy birthday to me.
Oh, that was nice of her.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, she got me a nice
Let's
nice little Royals shirt. Met some people as well in the food and beverage area. Guy bought me a polo. That was kind of cool.
Nice, dude.
I wasn't expecting anything like that. And then Saturday, my buddy had a pool party. He threw it for me, and then his wife and daughter made me a cake.
Oh, nice.
So I felt really appreciated this weekend.
Nice,
and
dude.
you know me, I don't want to have all this self-gloat. I just want to have fun and sit back and sip some drinks and enjoy it. And they brought out this cake, and it was great. It was my favorite, strawberry cake with confetti frosting.
That's sick.
It was awesome. Got to blow out some candles and celebrate that. And then Sunday was just a chill day of getting all your chores done that you put off, mowing the lawn, doing all that sort of stuff. But we sent 38 out and brought in 39, so hopefully we can live to see another, 38 years. But,
you mentioned a cake, and I saw one over the weekend on X that said, "Good luck finding the toenail on icing on the cake."
Oh, no. No. I'm okay with, the baby inside the, what is it? The
king cake.
Yeah, I'm okay
that's
if
fine.
You get that,
that's coming, but good luck finding the toenail. And
East toenail cake.
Oh, could you imagine?
I don't know about that.
Pass.
You know what? I'm not hungry. Still full from all the food.
Yeah, it was like an 8.5 by 11. Just you remember in Back to the Future where she throws the cake on the table and says, "Your Uncle Jailbird Joey didn't get parole again," right? It kind of looked like that, and just in red frosting. Good luck finding the toenail.
Good luck having me eat a piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not. No, but it was a fun weekend. I felt very very appreciative.
Yeah, that's great, man.
So that was great.
It should be. That's
that.
awesome.
No, it was a good time. But man, I'll tell you what, it looks like EB has just completely missed the gridiron.
No, no doubt. I mean,
every video
that
every video that comes out, it's like he's in the 3-point stance and he's ripping someone's ass, and then the next thing you know, he's
hugging
dabbing
bitch.
up people. Yeah, that guy missed it. So
yeah,
apparently even before the first play of offense, he said, "Get your ass out of the huddle," and they haven't even ran a play yet.
That's pretty
already
good.
Screaming at him.
How about the fact that Jalen Moore's your right tackle or your right guard right now?
Right tackle.
Right tackle.
Or your right tackle. And
Benson's
your right guard. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, next man up, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I think that, the hip injury is concerning with Trey Smith. That's what's keeping him out of practice. More concerned with Delane or Trey Smith?
Trey Smith.
Delane. Trey Smith's been hurt. He's missed camp before. He'll come back. I'm not worried about that. He's got a month. Definitely more worried about a Delane. He's a rookie because it's not just about the injury. He needs to get reps. He has not tackled somebody.
Fair.
No, it's definitely Mansour Delane.
Yeah.
It's not even close, in my opinion. As far as Jalen Moore's concerned, frustrating that he's the right tackle, not the right guard. You've got an undrafted free agent coming out here playing right tackle. You're paying Jalen Moore to be this so-called Swiss Army knife, $10 million. And he can't play right guard. I know now maybe you're paying him $10 million to be right tackle, so that's why he's right tackle. But again, you got an undrafted free agent who's already showing his worth and his versatility more so than the guy I'm paying $10 million.
Well, it also could be just getting a look, though, too, to see what each of these guys can do. Here you're out there this day, and maybe this guy's out there next day. I mean, Caliendo is still part of the team, isn't he? Is Frank still on the team, right?
I think Mike Caliendo is still on this team, yes.
Mike Caliendo, he's still on this team. So he's a guy that you could have back there as well. I think they just like this Benson kid a whole lot, man.
They do.
They like this guy a ton, and so they're going to do everything they possibly can to figure out where he can play. And that there's nothing bad about that. If he ended up as an undrafted free agent because everybody, including the Chiefs, missed on him in the draft, and now they found this diamond in the rough, that's a good thing. We can't look at it and say Jalen Moore's making $10 million a year, so he has to play if the guy's making, I don't even know what the league minimum is in the NFL anymore, $300,000, $400,000. If that guy ends up being better, then so be it. You got to play the guy that, is better regardless of the salary. I think the Chiefs absolutely look at it that way. But if you can find a way to make, whether it's Jalen Moore or Benson, the swing guy that can play both positions on the right side, now you're making your team stronger as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to know what the league minimum is?
Yeah, $750?
$885,000.
Oh, God.
Nice. I'll take that.
That's for rookies.
My first year covering MLB, 2001, the major league minimum was like $200,000. I thought that was a ton of money back then, and it was. Still is today.
For those of you that might get worried with video later, this comes from Sam McDowell, the Kansas City Star. Xavier Worthy participated in work with Mahomes and the offense as the Chiefs moved to a team drill. Worthy jogged to the tent, presumably part of today's plan in his first day back as the ramp-up period continues. So Cody and Alex are live in St. Joe Monday through Thursday. They have Emmett Johnson today after practice joining them. So be kind of interested to see what the young man has to say about his time so far in Kansas City and what he likes to see from this team. And he'll have Eric Bieniemy back, which I'm sure will be a question they will ask him about if that was a voice that they missed.
Good to have EB back? No.
Yes, it's bittersweet. Now you have to look over your shoulder. Well, do your job. You don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah.
No, but thanks for everybody that tuned in today on Monday. But like I said, Emmett Johnson joining Cody and Gold, who are live in St. Joe from 10 to 2 all week except for Friday. Make sure you take time to go out and do something nice for somebody because you never know it could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay safe, stay groovy. We'll talk to you tomorrow on a Tuesday. Have a great Monday.